Hi, this is Joseph Arthur. Thanks for checking out Come to Where I'm From. Please support us on Patreon, patreon.com/come to where I'm from. We are an independent podcast, and any contributions you can make are greatly appreciated.
So I'm doing the podcast with you?
We're all doing it.
Oh, all three of us.
All three
Joseph
of us.
Arthur, Wil Sylvince.
Ehud,
Joseph
Wil
Arthur,
Sylvince.
Ehud.
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 Oh, A, but it's with an E at the
Ehud,
I know, but
yeah.
it's like A.
It's complicated.
It's the English language. Like
H-O-O-D.
my family's from Haiti. Like, you know, I feel like other languages are more simplified than the English language.
Right.
Like, you know, you got there, like 17
In English,
days.
yes.
You know, they spell cucumber with a C, not a Q.
That's easy. That's easier.
Huh?
That's easier. I like that.
Cucumber?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but this, I mean, like if you're like a kid from somewhere else, spell cucumber. Oh, well, okay. The first word, the letter is easy. Q.
Right.
No, you're wrong.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
C.
You were born and raised in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
East New York.
Which part of Brooklyn?
East New York.
East New York, that's what it's called?
Whenever I say East New York to people, they assume like Manhattan.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
No, there's a section called East New York,
Yeah.
and it is rough.
Oh, rough.
Yeah, it's still rough. Gentrification. Actually, white people move in and they move right back out.
Oh,
Like
really?
3 of my white people friends that I know that they say, "Oh yeah, I moved to East New York," and then I moved right back out. And Brownsville and East New York are two places that is hard to change.
That's where Tyson's from, right?
Tyson from he's from Brownsville. He used to go on the train and rob people with his fists. Hey, went out. What you did?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, man, you cracked the code.
There we
We're
go.
back. Sorry about
So the
that.
beginning
Technical
of-
difficulty.
Beginning of the podcast is going to be like a static sound.
It's okay.
All right, so
I'm not complaining.
we got Wil Sylvince. Is that
Episode
Yes.
did I say it right?
98.
Episode 98, Wil Sylvince.
Wil Sylvince.
Yes, you said it right.
Comedian, boxer, filmmaker,
Writer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm trying to live.
liver,
Liver,
punch.
yeah.
So,
So yeah, we was talking about East New York and Mike Tyson robbing people on the train with his bare fist.
with his fist.
Yeah, that's like. But the thing is, was he just going up there to give me your money? I'll punch you in the face, and people was giving him money because they heard of him, or he had to like punch him in the face, like, oh God, this guy hit hard. Let me give him my money. Like, what do you
Right.
think happened?
I have no idea. He's such a strange character and such an amazing character. I mean,
Yeah.
I love him.
I love his realness. I'm not sure that's
Yeah, and his obsession with the toad. Have you watched his podcast much?
no I've seen a few episodes here and there
Yeah, he gets so emotional.
with the toad. What? A
Well, he's
frog?
smoking the toad. It's a form of DMT. I forget exactly the scientific lettering. I actually have done it before.
Marijuana.
No, it's a secretion that comes from a certain kind of toad, and then you
A
like
frog.
yeah.
Okay. Toad.
And
what's
yeah.
what's the difference between a toad and a frog?
I don't know.
You need me?
This
is-
I'll Google it. Don't look at me.
Don't look at you.
But so anyway, this stuff you smoke it, and it's like a DMT type of thing. It's like 20 minutes, but you go into outer
The
space.
secretion of a toad, a certain toad.
Toad cum, basically. You
Toad
smoke
cum.
toad cum.
Is that what secretion means?
No. I mean, it's not coming. I was being crude and attempting a
no,
joke.
You don't. No,
Okay,
you
Will.
don't not attempt.
Will,
Don't make me.
frogs have long legs, longer than their heads and bodies. Toads, on the other hand, have much shorter legs and prefer to crawl around rather than hop.
Which is dangerous.
What are you more of, a toad or a frog?
I'm more of a.
He's got long legs.
I
Both of you.
I got long
both
legs.
of you are
I'm
frogs,
sure.
guys.
He's like a frog.
For
I'm
sure.
feeling the toad though because it secretes DMT. I like that.
Have you ever met Tyson?
So
I met him.
Really?
Yeah, I met him. He's pretty nice. He's a nice guy. I mean, when you hit that hard, you're nice.
yeah.
Like, you know, it's like Superman. Like, you know, I could knock you out. So why? There's no need for me to tell me. You heard of me, right?
Yeah.
You heard what I could do. So
Yeah, but I like how he's breaking down his ego in this stage of his life and kind of like becoming a spiritual guru of sorts.
Oh wait, I want to go back to the toad thing real quick.
Yeah, because that's what's giving him that
Yeah.
that charge.
I think
yeah.
he was like that before that.
Yeah, but then the toad finds you, and then the toad finds you. I think with psychedelics, they kind of find you.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you're gifted them or this, that, and the other, and it seems like the universe is sort of telling you to take that journey.
I want to know who was the first one that took a toad,
Yeah.
Figured
the
it out.
secretion, and decided I want to smoke it, not put on a sandwich.
Yeah.
Right.
Not like, hey, maybe this might heal my scar.
Yeah, I know. Who figures this out?
Put in my cake batter. I'm gonna smoke it.
That's a good question. I think
does it give you a high?
I think it probably came from somebody licking a toad and then getting it's
Somebody being high on something else.
It is beyond high. It's like you go into the stratosphere of some other dimension. Have you ever smoked DMT?
I don't do anything, dude.
Nothing.
I'm just a loser. So like I don't drink. I don't
Me
smoke. Too. The most I do, to get a high is jerk off.
Really? I don't do that.
You don't do that?
I'm a no fapper.
What's a no fapper mean?
Means I retain. I retain my vital energy.
Hands free?
I mean,
Hands-free,
I try to go
That's a good definition.
I try to
Hands-free.
like not mess with it.
You know what? I did that.
Did you try that?
I tried that for 2 months. But you know what happened? When I got around my girl,
Right.
well, my girl at the time, I couldn't get it up.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't use it, you lose it. So I got nervous because I'm like, man, I hope she don't ask for nothing, because if she asks for something, she gonna, women, that how they get when you don't, you're not attracted to me. What's going on? Why is it so flappy? I'm like,
and then they put the pressure on, and then it's even worse. You're like, no, you gotta don't put the pressure on. Let's ignore it and act like nothing's happening, and then suddenly ittle be like right as rain.
But you know what?
That's
did.
funny.
You know what I did? So I didn't have to keep cause I wanted to stop touching myself. I wanted to reserve myself for her.
Mm-hmm.
So I started how can I say this? I started touching myself, but not bringing myself to the finish line.
Yeah.
Almost like how women have sex.
Does that count,
Right.
Joe?
I'm coming, but never come.
No, I do that. Like when if I'm, I retain and try to retain even if I'm having sex, and you can do it. You can get to this place. Like there's this book called the multi-orgasmic.
Oh, I'm not worried about that.
Multi-orgasmic male. There's a book. It's
multiple orgasms.
Multi-orgasmic
Man,
male.
those days are long and gone for me.
No, they're not. No, you got this.
When I was 22, I would come 5 times in one day.
No, you don't.
Who wouldn't?
Took me like 20 minutes to recharge.
No, you don't. There's a difference between coming and ejaculating, and that's the thing most Western men are confused about. Such as you're
what's the
displaying
difference between
now.
coming and ejaculating, like toad and frogs?
You don't have. You can have an orgasm without ejaculating, but you have to. You were already headed in that direction with the I'm coming. No, but I'm not going to do it. That's kind of the thing, and the more you do that, the longer you go, the more your ability in that realm evolves, and suddenly you're like this multi-orgasmic male with all your chakras lining up and your girl going crazy, and you guys can just keep going all night. That's the idea.
I don't mean to point fingers, but this sound like some white people shit. I ain't never heard.
Well, it's Mantak Chia. There's the guy who I got.
Well, hold on.
It's
you
more like
all these things at me. Mantak
It's more
Chia.
like Hinduism.
Is that a superhero?
Yeah, he basically is. But I'll send you some of his YouTube videos, and
Holy
I'm
shit.
probably not explaining it well.
We haven't even started yet. There's so many things happening here.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on.
So let me finish telling you what I did.
Okay.
So I would like touch myself, but don't bring myself.
Yeah,
and
you're
so
there.
I basically blue ball myself.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
and what happened is when I would finally do it, freaking explosion.
Nice.
Like you wouldn't, like if my girl at that time would have touched it, just put a pinky on it.
Oh yeah.
It right in her eye, bam.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes it's like, no, don't move, don't move,
Yeah,
don't
don't
move,
move.
and then just a little jiggle, and it's
Yeah.
like game over.
Yeah.
But you're right there with the giving yourself blue balls. That's close to it. But Mantak Chia will teach you how to not do that. There's exercises you can do. Like you can do breathing stuff. You can pull on. Anyway, that might be TMI.
Yeah. No,
Well,
TMI. Now it's TMI.
Yeah.
We passed that.
Not
Yeah.
like 20 minutes ago.
That's funny though. But
I just told you how I jerked off for 2 months. Or not jerk off.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Or
You should go for another
myself.
run of retaining your seed, because that energy has to then express itself somewhere else. Like even starting this whole podcast came out of me retaining my seed.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because that sexual energy.
you have a girlfriend?
I mean, you know,
I like when you say somewhere there's a girl who's gonna be upset at me if I say I don't.
yeah, that's a Mitch Hedberg joke. I don't have a girlfriend, but I know a girl that would be really mad if she heard me say that. You know
I
Mitch
love that.
You know Mitch Hedberg?
Yeah, I know of him. Yeah, of course. We all know Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah.
I never listened to his material much, but yes, I know
He
of
was
his work.
funny.
He was funny. He's like a
funny.
Stephen Wright kind of like one-liner, real fast.
Yeah.
Kind of a more alternative rock version.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well, I don't have a girlfriend. Well,
Do you have one?
We just broke up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
How long were you with her?
I would say off and on for 5 years.
Oh, that's a long one.
Mostly good years. I had a lot of good years with her. But yeah, but we had good times. You know, it's just the miscommunications between men and women. I think. She was not right. She was not wrong. I was not right. I was not wrong. It was just, I think, like people always talk about communication is good for a relationship, but I think it's good communications.
Right.
It's like you could communicate, but what are you communicating about? You know.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we had lacked for a minute.
It's everything communication. It's
Everything,
difficult.
You're right. Everything in a relationship is all about communication, communicating your feelings and being open, and but also it's how that person received that communication and what they do with it and how they perceive it. Because a lot of times I'll say something to her and she don't see it the way I'm saying it, and then that causes a lot of tension.
Yeah.
You know.
It's difficult.
Both of y'all quiet. What happened?
I don't know. So,
we could talk about something.
Before we move on, can you just tell how you met Tyson? After
we're talking about. Hold on, we're talking about his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Hold on. So how long?
My
ago,
ex-girlfriend.
How long ago did you break up?
We broke up. Okay. Hopefully she won't be listening to this podcast.
Oh, she's gonna listen.
She's a regular, dude.
She's so she broke up with me in the past. But like when her breakups are like final, and I would chase her back because I just felt like she was real and she was like
the one.
You were in love.
But when I broke up with her last time but mine was not like a breakup. Mine was like, hey, we need to be friends again. Mm-hmm. Because instead of trying to force this relationship, because my intention was never to let her go. It was like we need a reset button and then come back. So we could reevaluate what's going on, because it wasn't like this before. Before, everybody had problems here and there, but it wasn't like this.
It got worse.
It got more than worse. I'm not sure what COVID did it. Maybe that's another symptoms of COVID.
Absolutely.
A lot of people broke up during COVID.
COVID. Maybe that's what it is.
More time together
than
they used to.
Besides
lots of
coughing,
COVID babies
fever,
as well.
Coughing, fever, and breaking up your.
Listen, I have friends who don't spend that much time with their wives, where they're out at work or whatever, and all of a sudden they were 24/7. People were starting to get cabin fever from their partners.
That's the opposite of her and I. We weren't together,
right?
And we broke up. So I think if we were together, we probably would have still been together. I don't know. I don't know what the answers are.
So,
but
do you take that heartbreak and make material out of it for comedy, or what do you like? Are you already working on that? That's a coping mechanism, right? I mean,
it's hard sometimes. I mean, like, because the way I felt about her and still do, it's hard for me to make fun of it. If that makes sense. Where, because if it was just some girl I didn't care about, I done made so many jokes about girls. They probably get mad hearing this.
Really? I thought.
Well, it's not necessarily about.
It's almost like making fun of someone you love, like your mother or your brother. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, but I take heartbreak, and even if it's somebody who I really do miss, I would like write something about that from that perspective, and it would help me. I think.
Oh yeah. Oh, I wrote things, but it's not funny. It's like like I'm writing probably a short film about this,
right?
And it's more serious, but it's not comedy. But if you look at like people like me and a friend of mine, we wrote like 9 movies together, right? And out of the 9 movies, only 2 of them are comedy. And a lot of people say, "Oh, well, I thought you was a comedian. Don't you write?" I'm like, most comedy come from a serious place,
Right.
and then we make it funny.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but we don't always have to make them funny. We could just leave it in the dramatic form.
Yeah, that's true.
And because I like that, I like a lot of dramatic
Yeah, I like
screenplays.
I like the trailer to I Am Maurice.
Oh, thanks for watching it.
Yeah, it definitely is effective. I like it a lot.
Oh.
Tells a lot of the story in the trailer. And,
The story is much deeper than that.
yeah, I'm sure.
But I didn't want to give the whole story on YouTube. But what did you get out of it?
Well, I love it because I just love the concept of somebody, following a dream and lifting themselves out of a bad situation, and just that whole. I love that sort of narrative or
Right.
whatever, and just like it just seemed like a really compelling way to tell the story. I don't know. I like the part where he's shoplifting,
A bar soap.
yeah, a bar of soap, like that, in that kind of thing. And then I love boxing, so it's the hero's journey.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
although there's a movie about a guy who's passionate about boxing, but is more about his fight outside the ring than inside the ring.
Right.
Because if you remember in the trailer, when he finally got to the end, when he got to his first fight, we didn't even show you the other opponent because it was not about that. It was just about he getting to that point. When whatever you're passionate about, it's just getting to that, and then just that's all that matters at that moment.
Yeah, how did you get into boxing?
I used to weigh 220 pounds,
Yeah, I heard that.
and I dropped 70 pounds. And when I lost the weight, I just wanted more. I'm not sure. Well, you look like you always been healthy. I'm not sure. Ahad.
No.
No, I mean, I've gone through addictions and weird things like that, though.
Addictions and fat is it's
Similar.
Yeah. But the difference between fat and crack, not that you was on crack.
Well,
The difference between fat and crack. If you don't want to see crack, you don't have to see it.
that's true. Food is everywhere.
Food is everywhere. Your friends are doing it. It's on television. Is on billboards. People like you don't want something. Everywhere you go to someone's house, you don't want something to eat. So it's hard to imagine crack and you try to get over crack and everybody's offering you crack.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be harder.
Yes.
For sure. So you lost the weight.
I lost. I lost the weight.
Keep,
I just wanted to be more healthy. I would just the goal was to be healthier. The goal was vanity reasons at first. I just want a six pack, but I was so fat. I'm not gonna get a six pack. And then I saw these two little bumps on my stomach. I'm like, oh shit!
You had a 2-pack.
But I still had a big old stomach above that. And then I'm like, if I keep working, I just kept working, eating better and exercising. And a friend of mine introduced me to my trainer now, Stephen Frank. Not a friend, this girl who I hired to film my set on stage. She's a videographer. And she told me, she liked my comedy, and she was telling me about, I'm a female boxer. I'm like, oh, you're a female? And she told me about this movie that she wrote, and her training is amazing. And then she said, you should check out my training. I said, well, I always wanted to get into boxing, but I never know how. And then Stephen Frank, and then his training was just right. It was not too little, it was not too much. It was that just what I needed. And I remember when I first trained with him, I was huffing and puffing, like I'm not sure, but I was sweating.
Oh yeah.
And the way I was like, I felt like I was gonna die. But then when it was over, I walked outside. I'm like, I gotta do this again.
Yeah, it's such a high.
Yeah, and I didn't even spar. I'm not sure the first time you sparred.
Took a while.
It took me about 6 months, and he got me sparring.
Yeah.
But when I first sparred, it was not even about the hits. I guess I could take a hit. I was getting punched in the face, but I was so tired.
Yeah.
And I kept looking at the clock when it's gonna be it's only 3 minutes.
It's crazy. The first time I sparred, same thing. It was like, and I could like jump rope for rounds. I mean, I was like, it to me in good cardiovascular health. But like what I found out is what you get so winded so fast when you first start because you're all tense. You're not relaxed, and so this takes so much energy, and then plus just the whole thing and all the adrenaline, overthinking,
and try to remember your moves, and then all that.
Yeah.
As soon as the bell rang, I fell flat on the floor like I got knocked out, and then I said to myself, never again will I yell at the TV telling the boxers what to do.
I know. It's way more difficult.
You dumb motherfucker, get up. What the hell you doing?
Yeah.
It's crazy how people watch sports and just yelling at the TV like they could do better.
That's true. Can you believe Tyson's about to fight Roy Jones Jr.?
Yeah. He was originally supposed to fight the other Tyson.
Right. Oh,
Like-
Tyson Fury?
Tyson Fury.
Well, that would be wild.
Who's your money on?
If he did that?
Tyson Fury and not Mike Tyson?
No, on the current fight.
Oh. Tyson. I mean, Roy Jones is very
amazing.
underrated.
He's amazing.
Very like his style, his speed, his counters, his recounters.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah, but
It could go either way.
But Tyson is fast. You ever see Tyson out his speed and his power? So it's speed and power versus speed. Roy Jones, I think, he has power, but power, I think, with people within his weight range.
Yeah, he's lighter. That's why I would edge towards Tyson.
Right.
But
all he needs is to hit him once, and he'll go down.
That's if he hit him.
If he catches him.
That's the thing. You think he'll evade Tyson's, but Tyson is fast too. That's what made Tyson amazing. Yeah. He was not low. He was a heavyweight, but with lightweight speed work. If that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
We're back on Tyson. How'd you meet him?
Okay. Yeah.
You went full circle.
There you go. Now it's
an appropriate
fascinated
by Tyson.
Okay.
I mean, not everyone gets to meet Mike. You know. How long ago?
I met Tyson where I meet everybody else in my life in the last 20 years at a comedy club.
Oh.
And that's it. You know, I don't go out. I don't party. I don't go to bars. I don't do nothing. All I do is comedy clubs, and that's where I meet. I met 99% of the people that I know right now. So I met Tyson at a club in Jersey, and he came to the comedy store. Not a club in Jersey. I mean LA, not Jersey. Yeah, in LA.
The world famous comedy store.
The world famous comedy store, and he was outside. And I say, hey, Tyson, hey, what's up, man? But he was bigger than just when he had put some weight on. But he was still like, he'll knock you out. Like I never thought Tyson ever lost his his boxer.
Fire.
Yeah, boxers, like you could not box. You still like if you stop for like 6 months, a year, you come back within a week, 2 weeks, you get back, and then a month, forget about it.
Yeah, you got that. It does give you that confidence. I heard you talk about that in an interview that you were like, after you were boxing, then suddenly you were walking around thinking, hey, I could actually beat up everybody. I had that same fucking feeling because it's like, you're training to fight all this time. You're throwing so many punches and you just learn stuff. And it's like, it does help you know that like, oh, I could take care of things.
But most important,
gives you a little extra.
That training. I'm not sure how your training is. The training, forget the sparring. The training to box is, and I was on the trail. I'm like, I'm sure none of these people had this training I just had.
Right. Because it's intense. It's
crazy intense.
It's crazy intense. I remember like the first time, I trained, and Ramon, shout out Ramon, who's my trainer, Ramon Santos. Ramon. And he would say, okay, jump rope for 1 round. And I'm like, starting to jump rope. And after like a minute, I'm like, this has to end soon. This is crazy. It was like,
for 1 round, 3 minutes, right?
3 minutes. Yeah.
So
now I can do it. But
at what time did you think it was like crazy?
Probably like a minute in, you're just like,
dang, you did better than me.
Yeah.
When I first started jump roping, I think 30 seconds in.
Yeah, probably.
That's what I would guess.
That's probably more
15
realistic.
seconds in.
30 seconds in, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, this is crazy.
And you think, and not to be a chauvinist, but you think, oh, this is a girl thing. Because, when we're growing up, only girls, jump rope.
Right.
So you looked at it as like, oh, that's a girl thing. If girls could do it, I could do it. Then you realize women are stronger than men.
Yeah. I had enough of that imagery of like cool boxers like doing all kinds of jump rope tricks. So I
Rocky.
wanted to do that.
You could do it?
No, I can't. I mean,
Me
I
too.
can jump rope like crazy, in terms of cardio, but I don't have the tricks
I
down.
can't do any
I want to
trick.
get some of them.
We should practice together.
Let's do it.
I can't do any of those. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no, there's this. I got this magical jump rope, but I would. Yeah, we could train together sometime. That would be great.
I
Or
I
come
did
out.
the longest I jump rope for me and my trainer. Frank, he was like, hey, let's just jump rope for like 20 minutes, and we just jump rope. Oh no, it was, I think it was 30 minutes at the time. Let's jump rope 30 minutes
Straight.
right, and then we're not even looking at time, and next thing you know is like 35 minutes. Or
You did 35 minutes.
37 minutes, right? I told him, hey, let's make it 45 minutes even. And we jump rope, and next thing you know, it's 52 minutes. I'm like, let's go to an hour even.
Wow.
And this went on to an hour and 45 minutes. And at the
Nuh-uh.
hour and 45 minutes, we both just looking at the time. It was an hour and 37 minutes, and we just looked at the time like, all right, we're going to stop at 45. We should have went to 2 hours. But that's the longest I ever jumped up for an hour and 45 minutes.
That's
That's
impressive,
insane.
dude. That's really good. That's like,
But I build up to that, by the way.
of course, yeah. No, I've done like, I think the most I've done is like probably like 5 or 6 rounds straight through without like,
Which is 5 times 3, 15, a minute
actually
in between.
30 in between, 30 seconds
30
in between. So anyway, probably I could say for sure I did 5 rounds all the way
Close
through.
to 20 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
And it was nothing though, right?
I wouldn't say nothing, but yeah, I could probably do that right now. It'd be fine.
Right.
There's
There's this rope I have. You could change different type of ropes.
Mm-hmm.
There's the speed rope, which is really thin, and this heavy rope is about 3 pounds.
Yeah, the big yellow rope.
No, but
or like-
it turned. The big ones, I know you're talking about, where it doesn't turn, so
Yeah.
every now and then the rope get tied up.
Uh-huh.
But this one turns, so you could jump endlessly. But I only could do about 100. I count the revelations,
Yeah.
100 revelations.
Right. Do you do any distance running or any other kind of thing? Yoga?
I hate running.
Yeah.
I don't do any yoga. But I got bad knees. I got black knees. I'm not sure if that means anything.
But the jump rope thing on the knees, no,
it's
easier.
Jump rope is easier on your knees than running.
Yeah,
I feel.
I run too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then you're a superstar.
Yeah, I try to be. I'm working. I got a lot to
And
overcome.
you taking that toad cum.
Exactly. Just drinking toad cum endlessly. Wait, now, so what about the fact that you're saying like mostly what you do is go to the comedy clubs, but what are you doing now in this new world we're living in, and how are you faring with it?
I just been really home. I first started doing shows in June, and so like March, April, May, I was just really home, going shopping the most.
Oh, you're doing
Yeah,
shows.
and I was trying to stay away from people. I didn't want to I have a conscious, like, I think if I go like to a family member or my girlfriend at the time and give her COVID, I would have just felt like shit. So I didn't want to get around any loved ones and just ride out the storm, I was watching other countries where they got their shit together, so I figured just ride out the storm.
Yeah, but how are you faring? So you're doing shows now, or you're going?
Yeah, there's some comedy clubs.
Pop-ups.
Yeah, pop-ups, yeah. I'm a minimalist
Yeah.
where I don't need much. I ranch in my food.
Mm-hmm.
I live like a video game character.
Mm. So how's this changing your perspective of the world, and what do you think we're going with all this? Because like you said, the first couple months we all kind of did the right thing, or not everybody, I guess, but a lot of us did. But now as we're getting into the 6th month, heading towards maybe another lockdown, and what's your take on all that? Does it freak you out, or do you think it's gonna pass?
I always thought it was way worse than what they was telling us. I feel like, number one, it was too new. Like, we're not even a year now, and we don't know much about the virus. People kept saying, "Oh, it only affect old people, and black people don't get it." And now it affects mostly black people and old people, and not just old people. Then they were saying like by the summertime it's gonna clear up, but like people was acting like we live in the 70s without internet, without like you could look at the news to look at other countries. that were in hotter climates, and they were getting it. It was spreading around. Like Australia, they was going through their summertime at the time, or fallish and summer ending, and it was still spreading. You know, or the Caribbean islands, some Caribbean countries, they were getting it.
Yeah.
So it's not the hot weather had nothing to do with it.
Right.
You know, so I'm like this. I'm like, how can I not see that? And also,
well, the information is all over the place, though. To be fair, it's like we get so many different,
well, take the worst information.
narratives.
Take the worst. Don't like saying that is not. Example, saying that the hot weather kills it. All you have to do is look at other places that are hot. How is it going? Is it doing well?
Yeah.
So that's how I was looking at things.
Well, not
So
enough
what?
statistics.
So what's your feeling about where it's going, and how are you feeling about New York and staying here and all that, and what's going on with New York right now is crazy.
What's going on in the whole U.S.
Yeah, but New York is like, anyway. Yeah, what's going on everywhere in the world, but
we're doing what we got to do for the human mankind can survive, I guess. But I mean, what you gonna do? Like,
well, I guess,
say effort and just go out and
either way though, there's no. It's not as simple as just put on a mask and stay home and this goes away. I've heard projections that 250 million people are going to starve as a result of the economic collapse as a result of the way we've responded to this, and also I had a friend overdose and die last week, who wasn't even a junkie, so there's a whole lot of tragedy either way. It's not a simple equation.
No, it's not. But I think we have to find a new way of living fast.
Okay.
A new way of like not touching, not shaking hands, wearing them. It's just a new way, and then obviously there's going to be a lot of people who's dying because there's a bunch of dumb people out there who don't want to listen. Not wearing their masks, not socially distancing. It's just we just got to find a new way. Just like I don't want to simplify it with wearing seatbelts, but it's just like seatbelts. Seatbelts saving more lives than in the 70s when we weren't wearing seatbelts.
Right, but wearing seatbelts, and keeping basically the gig economy destroyed. Like people like live music. I mean, maybe there's comedy pop-ups, but all these things that help people also live in a spiritual way, like have a joy of life and stuff like that. As this drones on, how are people going to be able to deal with the continued lockdown and everything like that?
Yeah, I mean, even if you look at like stories of like the Spanish flu or other flus or the viruses back then, it was. I'm not sure if it was this bad. I'm not sure if I'm saying that because I wasn't there, or But I just don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. Comedy nothing used to affect comedy, even like the Great Depression.
Right.
But
so, what do you think the future of comedy is with all this? Do you think
I
gigs
think
will happen
we're
again?
We're gonna be doing gigs like at the bank in front of a plastic glass.
Yeah.
And fans everywhere, and
Yeah.
and audience are mic'd up so we could hear the laughter.
Does it scare you, the prospect of the new environment, or are you like confident that you'll find a way and everything will work out?
Being scared is not the answer. You could be
concerned,
but being scared never use that scared energy. Like I know, like when I started doing comedy, I had a fear.
Yeah.
But the fear, I didn't let the fear stop me from pursuing, getting on the stage. At first, the fear stopped me. I would never go on stage. I'm not going to do that. But then I'm like, well, what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
So it's like it's cool to be concerned, like you said, but don't let the fear stop you from.
And how do you do that? What's your internal dialogue that keeps you going through fear or past fear?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. just wear my mask. I carry a bottle of alcohol, spray alcohol.
No, I don't mean that. I mean fear.
Oh.
Like I meant more in general, like the fear, like the courage to go up and try comedy, or the courage to start the courage to start boxing, or the courage to come on this weird podcast. You know, anything like that.
I always thought like every day you delay something you love or passionate about is the day you push back your progression.
Mm-hmm.
I can't talk. Sorry. Progression.
You're doing fine.
You know, so you pushing that day back.
Yeah.
You know, like, so damn, I would have been here if I would have done that back. So if you, obviously you can't live in the past, but you could learn from the past. So meaning, damn, if I would have done this in September, I would have been here in December versus doing this, you know, in November. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Like if I would have started in September, not November, I would have been further ahead. So you learn like how you dealt with things in the past. You know, so okay. I also like to think this time next year, where do I want to be?
Yeah.
But this time next year, if I want to be a certain place, well, I got to put the seed in now. You know, and you can't think like the day you plant the seed is the day you eat the fruit. I'm not sure you heard that quote.
Right.
You can't eat the fruit on the day you plant the seed,
No,
but you got
gotta
to plant the seed. And then, but if you don't plant the seed this time next year, there will be no fruits to eat.
And where'd you learn that from? Like your dad?
No, I saw it on a porn site.
Who gave you that drive in your life? Or like what example in your life?
My dad, probably, I would say. The movie's called I Am Maurice.
That's your dad's name.
Yeah. My dad came to America with nothing, and he just built everything, and he was just passionate about I think my dad was passionate about his family and education.
Yeah.
And because he knew that between family and education, you get a good job and you could build a good life.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Were you close with him?
Not too close. He had the iron fist. But I loved him, and I knew what he was about. And it's like one of those things when you're a kid or when you're a parent, it's hard to be friends with your kid and be a parent, or like a teacher being a teacher and a friend. So you gotta find that line. Yeah. And my dad came from the old school, so he's like, no friends. We ain't friends. You my son. I'm your dad. You listen to me.
And did you guys become friends later, or never really?
The sad thing is he passed away when I at that age when we could have been.
I'm sorry
close.
to hear
Yeah,
that.
it's fine. He died at 55.
Yeah, that's young.
It's old for black people. It's young for whites. That's like 85 for you guys, right?
That's funny. Yeah, I heard you say that on a podcast. You said you were 50, and you said that's old for white people.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's old, because I'm 48. So I'm.
Oh, you look good.
Thanks to you too, man.
You know how old I am?
Well, you're 50, right? Yeah. So
you look younger than me,
we're
though.
the same vintage. I don't know.
Who look younger?
About the same.
45.
Who look younger between us?
I mean, I got all this gray
You
in
look,
my beard.
your beard is all
Your beard is
grays,
all
man.
gray, man.
And-
I could take this shit out,
And
though.
you're
with
both
just
fit. I was just going to ask you about the weight loss before we go off that. Is taking the weight off, I find sometimes is easy if you put your mind to it, but what helped you keep it off? Is it the boxing? Was that?
It was.
Because it's a long time that you kept the weight off and didn't gain
2007.
Right. So how do you not gain it back?
Because the goal always been health. I think
Yes.
I strive to be healthier. So like in 2006 is when I started. I gave up fast foods and soda or anything that's not water, and I just drank water and green tea. And in just that little bit, the way I felt those 2 months, I'm like, oh wow, I felt great. So then fast food is, I'm not a cold turkey person, so I wean myself off of stuff. So example, this is a typical meal in McDonald's. And this is no lie. I'll get a fillet of fish, a chicken sandwich, boat with cheese on it. Put cheese on everything. I'm not messing around. Supersized fries, big Coke,
Well,
apple pie, and a shake. Right?
and that's 3,000
and that's
calories
one meal.
right there.
That's
That's
one
just
meal.
so much sugar. Sugar's the demon, if you ask me.
Yeah, sugar is the demon.
I lean towards a keto kind of thing, but you're vegan, right? Or
I'm a vegan, but I'm not an asshole.
You went all the way vegan. That's a good joke.
That's a crazy meal.
Yeah. Then I'll come back and then I'll get like one sandwich, either the chicken or the fish, and I'll come back and then this is a crazy thing now, right? I just kept cutting things down. Don't supersize the fries. Don't supersize the Coke. And then one day I came in and I just got one. I asked for one apple pie, and the lady behind the counter was like, "Yeah, you know, for 10 cents you could get another one." I'm like, no, I'm good. She's like, "But it's only 10 cents." First of all, you don't know my pockets, huh?
Yeah, how do you know I have 10 cents?
Yeah. So she goes, "It's only 10 cents." I'm like, I don't want to eat it. Well, then give it to a homeless person. I'm like, man,
my God.
it's not gonna make it to a homeless person because so then you want it? No.
Oh my
I don't want it. It's like, and so her and I was getting into this argument about this apple pie, and I'm like, is this what McDonald's do? This how they train their workers?
Right.
Get them to be fat, get them to eat this shit. And so I walked away. I'm like, ma'am, listen, for the last time, I want one apple pie. And she said, fine. Doot. And I took my meal, but she made me feel, as I'm walking with my tray, I'm like, I should have got the extra. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna eat it. And then I remember that was my last time at McDonald's. I never went back. But by the way, what I said to McDonald's, I applied that to Wendy's, to Burger King, to Popeye. Like I applied that same cutting things down till I eliminated. And then that was 2006. 2007 was a year I gave up chicken. August 2007, I'll never forget, because so every year I start off, what am I going to give up this year? And so
slow process.
And so I'm like, January, February, I'm preparing myself to give up chicken, right? Preparing myself. I'm like, damn, it's going to be so hard. It's going to be so hard. And then come August, I'm like, it's getting, the end of the year is coming. I got to give it up. I gave it up. I didn't miss it. Nothing. It would, I would walk by KFC. And nothing. Then 2008, I gave up fried foods. 2009 was a big one. 2009, I gave up. 2009, I gave up all things white. White bread, white rice, white sugar.
White people.
White girlfriends. That's where I was going.
I don't jerk out to white girls anymore.
That's a tragedy.
But I just gave up, because, I'm not sure you guys know, but they bleach the food. They like rice. They bleach all the nutrients and the vitamins and, I don't know. I'm sure you know much more about that.
Well, yeah, a little bit.
Even quinoa. The quinoa it really comes in black or red, but they bleach it. They bleach all the nutrients out. So as healthy, quinoa is one of the healthy carbs if you want to eat a carb.
Yeah.
But they make that bad.
So just buy the red one.
Buy the red one buy the colored one. The ones people of color. And then and 2010 was the biggest year ever. It's the year I gave up dairy. Now I'm a big cheese guy. I love cheese.
I like milk.
Milk?
I drink milk still.
Yeah?
Whole milk,
like
full fat.
Like you live with your mama?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm my own, yeah. Full fat. I like it.
Yeah. I wasn't much milk drinker, but cheese. I used to put cheese on everything. Pizza. So I'm like, damn, I'm gonna give up cheese. I gotta give up pizza.
That's crazy.
I did it, but check this out. When I gave it up in March that year, April, May, I felt so good. My joints weren't hurting. I had like skin problems. It went away. And then one day I just woke up like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh shoot, it must be the dairy. And so, but I still had dairy was very hard to give up, because I went back to it, I think that summer, do pizza, and I'm like, I can't go back. And I remember how bad I felt. So, example, if I was walking home and there was like a pizzeria on the way, I would take the long way home and go like
to avoid
it until I was strong enough to like I could walk by. It's almost like
I'm like that with the Kava bar up the street from me.
What's a Kava bar? What's
Man,
Kava?
I go there all the time.
Do they have toad come?
They drink, it's basically a form of toad
if
cum.
only.
It's like a root, and it's like it's a drink. It gets you.
Is that alcohol?
It gets you kind of intoxicated, but it's not alcohol.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's some other stuff. It's like, it's a replacement for alcohol, but you don't get.
It's like it gets you wet, but it's not water.
Yeah. Something like that.
Something like that. Hey, so do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I got 3 brothers.
3 brothers?
Yeah.
Like where are you in line with that?
I'm third.
Third?
Yeah, the middle child.
Middle child. And what do your brothers do?
My older brother, he had a stroke, so he's not working right now. But he's hanging in there. My second older brother, he and I went to school for the same thing. We studied electromechanical engineering. I used to build robots at my previous job.
That's amazing.
He used to work. He used to fix the machines at the hospitals. The doot doot, all those type of machines. Then he works for transit. My younger brother, he works at kitchens, managing huge kitchens.
That's
and I
cool.
think he's managing a prison kitchen.
That's interesting. So you're the only one that went into the show business.
Yes, because I was always my ultimate goal ever, besides robotics, was working for myself.
Yeah.
True. I thought that was true freedom. You can't. How did I used to say? You can't build your dream by working for someone else's dream. So it's like I want to build my own dream, my own empire, but you can't do that by working for someone else, because they pay you just enough. Like Chris Rock, they pay you just enough so you don't kill them, but not enough for you to have your own house.
So when you were growing up, when was it that first struck you that, I want to be a comedian? And which one did you see, or was it, how did you get inspired in that direction?
I always wanted to be a comedian. I just never thought it would happen because my parents were so strict, and I just didn't know how to go about doing it.
There wasn't a moment where, like, even when you were 10 or something, I mean, where you discovered it? Was there a pivotal moment that you can remember?
No, but I knew the comedians that inspired me.
Who's that?
Well, besides Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, but the very first one I connected to was Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, right.
Nice.
Because Rodney was the first one that he made it okay to be ugly. And I always
you're not
felt,
ugly.
Okay. Tell that.
Come on, you're a handsome
Tell
man.
that to the guy in my head.
So, hey, listen, guy in Will's head, he's handsome.
He's going like this.
He's handsome, okay? Leave him alone.
So Rodney, I remember when I first heard the Rodney Dangerfield joke. I think the joke was, "Hey, this girl said, 'Hey, Rodney, come on over. Nobody's home.' I went on over. Nobody was home. I get no respect." I'm like, "Oh shit, that's my life.
Respect.
Yeah.
That's my life." I didn't have my first girlfriend. I was 18, and then that lasted only, if you want to call it a girlfriend, that lasted 3 months. She cheated on me, so I had to bounce. I was a virgin until I was 24.
Wow.
But I was raping myself. I had skills, so when I did it the first time, if I didn't lie to her and told her, "Hey, I'm a virgin," of course you don't tell girls you're a virgin.
Not when you're 24. I mean, I did it when I lost my virginity. I admitted I was a virgin, but I was 15. Well, that's kind of common though. That's not. I'm not bragging that it was 15. I think 15.
But that's average though,
That's
right?
an average. That's average. Yeah, I think that's average. Yeah. Yeah. How old were you?
Yeah.
17?
I think you said 8.
8.
No.
Yeah.
17.
What made you give it up?
What do you mean?
What made you like, what, this is going to be the day? Like,
I was all
Looking for it. That was the first one.
I mean, come on. No, it was kind of my first girlfriend. Yeah. I mean, it was all her doing. I mean, she was like,
usually
she
the girl
was in charge.
Like, "Hey, this is the day you're going to lose your virginity, okay?"
Yeah.
Okay.
She knew what she was up to.
This is the day. I didn't know it was going to be today. I wore a suit.
Hey, so what was it like the first time you stepped on stage?
I thought it was going to say it was the first time to have sex. I got a story to tell you.
That too.
Man, it was like maybe like the first time I had sex.
Yeah.
It was just, my heart was racing. I was nervous as shit. I was scared, nervous.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Then did you have a routine or did you improvise?
I improvised. I didn't know what that meant.
Right. So you had jokes.
I had jokes. My very first joke was, my 2 jokes was, I don't necessarily pronounce words properly. I messed up the word properly
I
on purpose.
Up on that.
And I said I made a list of all the words I mispronounced, and I pulled out a big fat dictionary and threw it on the floor. And then I go.
So it was like, what do you call that? Like a
prop comedy.
Comedy.
Yeah, if you want,
Kinda.
I just had a dictionary, I just threw it on the floor. I could the original joke was I made a list of words. I'm like, why don't just pull out the dictionary? I think that would be funny. I didn't know anyway.
Did it work? It seems pretty funny. It's kind of funny.
It worked. People in the front saw it, and someone yelled out, "Oh, a dictionary!" And then the rest of people in the back couldn't see what it was. If I was smart, I would hold the dictionary in the light,
right,
and then throw it on the floor. And then the joke after that was, "No more ugly girls for me, because I'm ugly too. 2 wrongs don't make a right." And that was
That's the Rodney Dangerfield interview
That's
coming
Rodney
out.
Dangerfield coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what was the third one? So far, it's pretty good for your first time.
I can't remember my very first time I bombed.
Yeah.
Very first time I went up, I was forced on stage because there was no comedians in the house, and the host saw me. The host was like, because all the comics was somewhere else, another club, and the host was like, "Yo, you always want to be a comic, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." "All right, you on tonight?" I'm like, "Whoa. I have no jokes, nothing prepared, nothing." So I just went on stage. "Hey, what's up?" Hi, and then I just the booze. I'm not sure you guys been to black shows. They don't play around.
No. Well, I have. Yeah. I've played at the Apollo.
You do stand up?
No, but I'm a musician, singer-songwriter.
How did it feel playing on the Apollo stage?
I loved it. We sold it out. It was I have a band with Ben Harper and Danny Harrison and called Fistful of Mercy, and we sold that place out.
What kind of music?
It's like folk rock music, like 3-part harmonies. We're singing together.
Oh, I gotta check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You also opened for the Wigs at the Apollo.
Oh yeah, I've played there twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people say the Apollo stage is unlike any other stage. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, it has a magical energy, and there's that trunk right there, the Good Luck trunk.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And have you ever played there or done anything there?
Yeah, I played there.
Oh yeah. Your mom saw you, right?
Yeah, my mom saw me.
Yeah, tell us that story.
Well, I'll tell you 2 stories.
Okay.
The very first time I played the Apollo, it didn't go well.
Was it open mic?
It was not open mic.
What's that show at the Apollo called?
Showtime at the Apollo.
Showtime.
Yeah.
It's showtime at the Apollo.
Da-da-da-da. Or whatever.
Nice.
That came on after Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It
was like way late.
1 o'clock, yeah. And this is why, I'll get back to my mom's.
Yeah.
But so I come out, and Steve Harvey was hosting.
Nice.
And I was so nervous. Probably the worst nervousness ever in my life. Next to when my teacher in the 5th grade told me I might get left back. Right? I come out and I had this great idea. I said, you know what? If they boo me, I'm gonna moon the crowd. That way they won't show it on TV, and I don't have to commit suicide and shit. So
yeah, because they could be brutal there. I mean,
what?
Yeah,
brutal is not the word, dude. I could live off of brutal.
Yeah, it's next level. It is.
So I told Steve Harvey I got this idea. If they boo me, I'm gonna moon the crowd. And Steve Harvey looked me right in my face and said, "Hey, that's a good idea." And I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Right. You got the green light from the man.
Right. So I come out.
Who then denied it.
I come out. Now, by the way, I still had the same that joke I was going over with no more ugly girls for me, right? And I come on stage and say, "Apollo, what's up?" Someone yells, "Shut the fuck up." Right? I'm like, "Oh,
good
shit."
start.
Right. You work in a big audiences, like just because someone say it here, that mean the rest of the audience didn't hear it. But in my head, I'm thinking the whole audience heard it.
Oh yeah,
So
I know that one too.
Yeah. So I go. Let me just get into my routine. I go. If I ever get rich, I'm gonna tell you right now, no more ugly girls for me. And a dude right in the front yells, "'Cause you ugly too."
Oh no.
And just took all the win. And I'll go, yes. Because I'm ugly too.
And 2 wrongs don't make a right. Did
2
you?
wrongs don't make a right, right? But he took the win. I felt like everybody heard the punchline,
right?
And so but my win was took. I couldn't and I'm trying to get into the next joke, but nowhere near that energy. And someone goes, "Boo!" Right?
Oh my god!
And
it started.
I'm not sure if it was in my head or I actually saw this, but I saw a guy look at the guy who was booing. There was only one guy booing. Another guy looked at him and said, "Yo, that's a good idea." Boo!
Right.
And the boos start coming in.
Catches.
And I'm like, I gotta get to my master plan, right? I start undoing my pants. My pants were stuck, right? I started bringing it down, and I think the crowd saw what I was doing. The boos started coming. I'm like, I better hurry up. I pull my pants down and turn and show my butt cheeks. The boos came in so hard, my butt cheeks was vibrating like speakers,
Wow.
like boo, boo, boo.
Wow.
Right? And then I was like, I don't give a damn. You ain't going to see this no more on TV. And I walked out with my pants halfway down, right? And I get to the side of the stage, and Steve Harvey goes, "Why did you do that for?" I'm like, I thought he was gonna give me a high five. Good job. That's a good idea. He attacked me, and then they banned me from the Apollo for life.
Wow.
The producer's like, well, you're banned. You'll never be back here again. I'm like, well.
And so did they air that on TV?
No.
Damn it.
Wow, that's good. So you saved it.
But this is the thing. About a week later,
Because you played there again, so you got over.
Yeah, that Wednesday, I think that was a Friday I performed.
Funny.
That Wednesday, someone from the Apollo called me. Hey, we want you to come on the show. I'm like, you know who this is? This is,
You
this
just
is
banned me for
What
life.
number did you dial?
no more ugly girls for me, John.
Yeah.
2 wrongs to make a right, dude. And he goes, oh no, this is a different type of show. That's Showtime at the Apollo. This is a sketch show, a new show we're trying out. And I think they was trying to compete with the other sketch shows. I think Mad TV, Saturday Night Live, and all that. And so he's trying this new thing. And they said that the crowd is not trained like that. They're more forgiving. They give you a chance. I'm like, all right.
Right.
Don't expect new jokes, dude. Like, it's not even a week later. I'm doing the same, no more ugly girls. And so I came out. I go, what's up, Apollo? The crowd was much nicer. They was like, oh. I just felt, I'm like, oh, wow, this is great. And I just opened the first joke, no more ugly girls for me. The crowd was just laughing on that. I go, because I'm ugly too. 2 wrongs don't make a right. And the roar was, I'm like, oh shit. All of a sudden, the producer from the God of Mike was like, Will, we wasn't recording. We need you to come out and start again. I'm like, dude, that was my first joke. I don't have another first joke. I only have 3 first jokes, and they're the same joke. No more ugly girls for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm having this thing with the producer. They say, I'm sorry, we're sorry. And the crowd's laughing at this banter that I didn't think was, And so I told the crowd, I said, listen, I'm going to go out. You guys got to just act like you didn't see me. All right, I'm going to do the same shit. And they was laughing at that. I came out, and then when I said no, they were laughing. Seemed like a little harder.
Like force.
Not force, laughing at the whole situation.
Right.
And that just propelled me to like boom, 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 boom.
Next
to
level.
last joke, and then they stood up. I got a nice little stand ovation.
That's insane.
But I think I got stand ovation because of that whole, like, if that didn't happen, I'm not sure, because that mess up and me telling them, hey, y'all gonna have to act, y'all gonna have to laugh at that joke again. If you
I do that all the time, like break the ice by like doing like some kind of like fuck up at the beginning, and then just like saying to the audience, okay, well that's blown, so now we can just have fun, like it's not gonna be, or some kind of conversational icebreaker, and it just lightens the whole thing up. There's no more awkwardness,
right?
And then you can like do anything. You can do crowd work. It's easy. Also,
when you had that conversation with the audience, it's almost like we're not strangers no more. We're friends. Like, you're in my living room. We're cool now, as opposed to, hi, I'm gonna tell these jokes and hope you'll enjoy them. As opposed to, hey, what's up, man? Look at this guy, man. Oh, man. All right, hey, Sharon, what's going on? All right, hey, Steve. You get that little. Yeah. That openness with the, like, oh yeah, I like this guy. This guy's cool.
What's it like touring with Chapelle?
Oh man, it's like
a master class.
Chapelle is like, first of all, like, I don't think anybody will ever be like Chapelle. Chappelle's like on the next, like, if you're a comic and you working hard and you busting your ass, I'm talking about you busting your ass, and you finally make it to the mountain top. And you're looking around for Chapelle. Chapelle is not there because he's on another planet. That's how far Chapelle is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you will never catch up to Chapelle. The way he.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that is?
That work that we put in, he put in when he was young, and he's smart, and he has amazing memory. And timing. Those 3 things, witty, memory, and timing. So like those are like 3 things we try to master. Our timing, we try to remember, and we try to have good wits about ourselves when we tell jokes.
Yeah, he's a magical dude.
Yeah,
from Ohio, right?
Yeah, he's from Ohio, but he moved to D.C. when his parents split up. He was living with his mom, and then he moved back to Ohio when his dad got sick.
Yeah, Yeah. So is it like, did you guys become friends on tour or anything like that?
No,
Or
I met
You met him
Chappelle
in the 90s.
in the 90s, yeah, 92 or 3. But Chappelle keeps telling this story of how we met. He did a show. This is Chappelle's story. I'm gonna tell you my version. Chappelle says he did a show. He got off stage. Everybody was like, "Good show, Chappelle. Good show, Chappelle. Good show." He got to me. I was like, "Hey, you want to go to my house? You want to come to my house and play video games?" Right? And he was like, "Sure." And he came over to play video games. But what happened was, he got off stage, and I was like, "Good show," and we were just talking, and then we got talking about video games. I'm like, "Oh, let's come to my house. I got some games." I'm like, "Yeah," and that's how. But he make it seem like, "Hey, you want to come to my house and play video games?"
What video
he
games?
gave it the comedic twist.
Yeah, of course.
You know. Yeah.
Make me sound like I was creepy. "Hey, you want to come to my house and play video games?"
So if you knew him from then, when did you realize that he was starting to become? When was
Chappelle
that
was always-
turning point?
he
Or
was
back then already.
He was big back then because he was a kid. He was like, I think 16 or 17.
in 90 something.
Yeah, and then so we were fascinated by his humor back then, you know. And you know, back then you're like, oh wow, if he's like this now, you can imagine when he get older. And not all kids that happens to, you know. There's only a few kids, you know, Michael Jackson, Chappelle. I can't think of anybody.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan started as a kid.
I mean, he started young. Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Jordan. Yeah, so you know, Mike
High
Tyson robbing people when he was 13 on the train.
Yeah, what did you think about Chappelle's last special?
I thought it was great. It was great.
Deep, man.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's he reached to the point where is where he hit you so deep in the gut, you know, where it's like there's laughter and then also like seriousness, you know, make just.
Yeah, there was more seriousness than laughter, really.
Yeah, but it was great. It was just great to. I must have watched that like 4 or 5 times.
I watched it twice, right in a row. Like I
Right.
watched it and then I watched it again.
So yeah, absorb. Yeah,
Yeah, and I liked it better the second time.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't. The first time I guess I was expecting more, more
But-
laughs or whatever. But then the
But
second
then when you
time,
understood what's going on,
yeah,
It was more of a story than a comedy special. The whole build-up, I felt, was very powerful.
Yeah, but I feel like he gave so much of comedy. Like he could do a special like this. That makes sense.
yeah.
As opposed to someone just come out with, like in your world, 3 albums. And
He
like,
can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like Bob Dylan just putting out like an 18-minute long song. Bob Dylan can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Like certain people reach this level of genius where they can do whatever they want. They're
and it'll
they're
still
utterly
be
free.
amazing.
Yeah, and hopefully it's challenging or like hard to deal with at first because they have that sort of space to operate in where a lot of us have to be more like eager to please. You know what I mean?
But
when you get to that level where you're not eager to please, that's kind of cool.
But nothing about Chappelle with that special. Normally, he'll go around like to like 100 clubs, working it out and tweaking the jokes, adding stuff. During COVID, he didn't have that luxury to
Yeah.
go to. So that was the only spot. That was one of the first shows he did without running these jokes and trying them out and testing them out and improving them. And he just boom. So that was like actually the first draft, so to say, versus like the other shows specials
Where
be
you can
like
hone
the,
it,
yeah.
and test it on people.
Yeah, so this is how of a genius he is. The first draft is like this.
Yeah, that is genius. Hey, so making the film, is that like the first time you made a film? Like,
No, we didn't make it yet. We're still raising money to make it.
you're still
yeah.
raising money. So the trailer is like
We did the trailer hopefully to help raise money on Kickstarter.
how's
And
that working out?
It did well. We successfully raised $104,000.
That's amazing. And
the
you
goal
wanted
was
101.
101, yeah. You know
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, but let me think
Why?
if I can remember. Hold on, let me see. It's
This
because
guy does his homework.
hold on, I know this. It's because. Well, tell me why.
Likes the movie 101 Dalmatians.
Well,
No.
Well, the character is an immigrant from Haiti,
right.
and most immigrants when they come in, they go to the Statue of Liberty,
Oh, right.
right? So, when France gave the Statue of Liberty to the U.S., they gave it without a stand, and
they gave it without a stamp.
Without a stand.
Oh, without
just
the
yeah. and they were like, "Yo, we need a stand." Like, you ungrateful motherfucker, get your own stand. So I think the mayor or the governor of New York did the first ever crowdfunding.
Really?
And they successfully raised $101,000 for the stand of
Yeah.
Statue of Liberty. And so that's a connection with I Am Maurice.
Interesting.
So how long have you been raising money for it and working on this film?
Since 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes films take a long time to get made. So
How do you keep the enthusiasm for it, or do you?
I love the story though.
Yeah.
If you guys want to read the script, you're welcome to read the script.
Okay.
The script I feel like is just a great story to tell.
And it's like
you
your
know.
20th script you wrote with this guy, with your partner?
Nine scripts.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
a
actually, yeah,
bunch.
you could say more than 20 because we wrote
Yeah.
a bunch of short. We wrote like 300 shorts. We wrote like 10 TV shows and 9 films.
And do you write every day, or like what's your style
Yeah,
with that?
I mean, writing. You as a performer, writing every day could be just a phrase that you come up with, and you just gotta write that down. So yeah, technically I write every day, but do I write every day like a film every day? No.
Yeah, of course not. But I mean, you have a writing practice.
I'm always like, I gotta write that down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have the worst memory. I do not. Chapelle. If you look at my memory versus Chappelle's memory, it's like Chappelle's memory is a planet and mine is a sand.
Yeah, do you write in the mornings?
Nothing. Hello. Too soon.
Say that one more time.
Wait. Chappelle's memory is a planet, and your memory is a sand.
A grain of sand.
Oh, a grain of sand.
His is a beach.
I think if you said
and
a
you're the
grain
on
of
the
sand
beach.
with that one
Yeah.
instead of a sand.
A sand. Yeah. That's
was
how dumb I am.
That was
also.
the confusing part about it. Like,
Yeah. Would you say the morning? What do I write in the morning?
yeah, like do you have like a writing routine? Like you wake up in the morning? or something?
Anytime I come up with something. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no. You have a time?
Nah, I'm more like anytime I come up with
Yeah.
something.
Right. Why would you put those limitations on your writing?
Inspiration.
sessions?
I like
hits.
that idea though. When people like, I wake up at 5:30 in the morning and I write for 5 hours, and then I get a sandwich and I write for 2 hours, and then I'm start my day. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so when they turn that, it's like a switch, they turn that off, the thinking,
Yeah.
the creative process off. No, I feel like, no, I carry my notebook. Well, my digital notebook, I should say.
Yeah.
I feel like a digital notebook is better than a notebook because you could search, you could manipulate the words, copy and paste. Notebook, like I'm not sure about you, but I have like maybe 15, 20 notebooks at the house that I wish they would have been digital because,
Yeah, you can't do.
and then
anything
another
with
thing is like I write like a phrase. I'm like, what is this?
it. Yeah.
The cow ate soda. What is that? What was I thinking about?
What kind of app do you use to write in?
Right now I use Google Keeps.
Google Keeps.
Yeah, because I have a Gmail account, so
Never
It's
heard
hard to
of it.
organize. I find like I write so much and I have so many poems all over the place. It's like I need to like organize them all down, and
you have them in a book or
I
digital?
just have them digital, and then just
What app you use?
tons of them. I use Notes app on the thing, but then I have Evernote, and I have
Evernote. I use Evernote.
yeah, and I
also.
have another couple of them, but I need to organize. That's the thing.
Evernote. I use it for bigger things. Like if I see an article, But Google Keys is just a little bit more simplified.
Do you write a blog or anything like this? Do you do any
I
kind
used to do it. When I lost the weight. I was blogging a little bit.
Right.
I wrote this blog about how I lost the weight.
Like an inspirational thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like do you do like a YouTube channel or anything like that, or have any ambitions in that direction?
I wanted to. In fact, me and my ex, we had talked about doing a YouTube channel, and then we never
You got
did it.
5 videos on your YouTube channel. I checked it out.
Huh?
You only have 5
Yeah, I
videos
know.
on your channel. Didn't do it.
But then me and this guy named Cypher Sounds. You heard of Cypher Sounds?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's a comedian, very funny guy. So he and I been doing a couple of video, like a podcast ish type of show. We're doing a couple of videos, and that's as much as blogging, video blogging.
Why'd you let the blog go? Just
I don't know.
that's the nature of a blog, by the way, because I've had them before and then let them go. But I'm thinking about starting another one.
Yeah, did you find success? Like,
No, I wouldn't say that I found success. In terms of I didn't garner like a huge following with it.
oh, that's why I let it go. Go ahead. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just realized why I let it go.
Why?
Oh, I found one. Someone stole my blogs. and took credit for it. Just copied and
Really?
pasted and took credit for it. I'm
Really?
like, yeah.
That's wild.
So I'm like, I'm not going. It's not worth it to put all, But there were people who was taking my blog and giving me credit, which is fine. But then I saw 2 or 3 people just stole it and they said it like it was their story.
Well, it's like the fake Instagram accounts that you get all the time that people make of you.
Happens to me all
For
the
real?
time. It happens.
All
It
the
happens
time.
at least once a month.
What?
A fake
And
Instagram
then they
account.
contact people and,
And they
talk to them
they
as
contact
him. It's
people.
crazy.
And this last one was like hitting on girls as me, like in this.
It happens
in the
to a lot of
goofiest
musicians.
way. It's like
No one will ever use my fake account to hit on
You
girls.
never know.
It'll get them less girls.
Right.
Hey, you can have your identity back.
that's funny, man. I don't agree though. I don't. You look like a movie star, man. What are you talking about? What did they?
'Cause his
What
beard-
did they say to you when you were a kid?
His beard sucks.
So tell the story about your mom seeing you at the Apollo, though.
the show that I did well on.
That with the one you did well in.
Yeah, the well in.
Yeah.
Well on or well? You're the English teacher.
Well
you know that.
in.
The one you did well
on. The show
the
you
one-
did well on. Yes.
The one you did well on.
On.
Or well in.
Well in.
Both.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
More
I don't
on
know.
is okay.
No,
I would say well on is probably more right. I said well in.
I'm still complaining about not using a Q in cucumber. So,
Mm.
so this one I was doing comedy behind my mother's back, right? And you gotta understand, my mother, she's a very Haitian lady. She was a very Haitian lady. She listened to a Haitian. Only 2 stations she listened to: a Haitian station on AM radio, and who listened to AM, and she listened to country music. I grew up on old school country, by the way. I'm not sure,
That's pretty funny.
Willie Nelson, Glenn
Yeah.
Campbell, Johnny Cash,
Hell
Waylon
yeah.
Jennings.
Waylon Jennings.
Yeah, Waylon
Yeah.
Jennings.
Yeah.
And she's in bed by 10 p.m.
Yeah.
The Apollo came on at 1 a.m.
Well, she
Right? I'm like,
doing
she ain't gonna see this show. What are the chances that my mother's up at that time of night and is watching this show and not listen to, All Day Haiti? All Day Haiti. Okay, you all listen to All Day Haiti. Okay? Why you don't listen to us?
Why you?
So my brother goes, yo, Ma saw you on TV. I'm like, oh, I was scared. I'm like, oh, shit. And then I was nervous.
But you knew that you killed, so.
Yeah, have you met a Haitian
No,
parent? They don't care about
no.
that.
No.
Go get the belt so I can whip your
Right.
ass for getting the standing ovation.
Yeah.
They don't care about that. So I go to the house, and my mother had like 7 of her friends in the living room, and we had the beads in the living room door. So I came in quietly, or tried to come in quietly, and ring, and everybody just stopped talking, and they all looked at me, and one of them would go, "Is that the comedian there?" And they just started laughing. I didn't say nothing. They just started laughing. And my mom was like, "Yes, that's my favorite son." Oh, yes. And then they were just laughing and just having a good time. And then my mother tried to get me to repeat a joke that I said on there.
Right.
Now, the joke I said on there was very edgy.
What was it?
So before I say it, I asked the producer of the show, "Hey, I can't do this joke, right? Because it's crazy edgy." And he said, "Oh, it's fine because it comes on 1 o'clock and we're trying to be edgy."
Right.
I'm like, okay. So the joke is, along with No More Ugly Girls, No More Dumb Girls. I was dating this dumb girl, and I saw her walking on the street with a titty hanging out. I said, "Girl, your titty hanging out." She said, "Oh my goodness, I left a baby on the bus."
That's pretty good.
So my mother now.
That's funny, dude.
Another thing I gotta tell you, I never, ever, 2 things. I never cursed in front of my mother. Never cursed, and never talked about anything sexual
Right.
in front of my mother. Nothing. My parents, both my parents, nothing sexual, ever. Right? Let alone saying titty. I don't even say breasts. And so I go, "What's your favorite joke?" She said, "Talk about the TT or the boss on the TT."
The bus.
I'm like, "You
Talk
mean the
about the-
baby on the bus?"
The boss.
And she's saying titty so loud. She never said this in front of me. And all the friends just laughing. And they don't even know the joke. I'm like, "Mom, I'm not doing that joke." And I had to walk away. I'm not going to say anything. And
That's
that was,
funny.
yeah.
And then but it sounds like she was really proud.
She was very proud. 'Cause
Overwhelmed.
Dude, once you make it on TV, you break that. Oh, okay, you could make a career.
Yeah.
You know?
Really? Even when they pushed the education, they were good with that.
Yeah. But at that time, I already, got my degree. I was building robots at the time. I was working at this company called International Robotics.
Are you still doing any of that kind of stuff?
I have inventions I came up with. I would like to put them out one day.
Nice.
And I have some app ideas. 3 apps. I was currently working on. One app is like a text messaging app, because text messaging is huge. People text more than they do anything else. WhatsApp, Snapchat.
Well.
So
Facebook
what's your
bought
text
WhatsApp.
app?
I can't really talk about it.
Right.
It does
Somebody will
something.
steal it.
It does something that none of these apps are doing. And another thing, I figured out how to make money, because the one thing about Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg, he said he bought WhatsApp for $35 billion, and at the time it had 500 million users. And he said when we reach 1 billion, we're gonna figure out how to make money with WhatsApp. They passed 1 billion now, and he still has not figured out how to make money. I figured out how to make money without it being intrusive on the users. And that's as much as I'll say about that.
Sell all their information behind their back.
Yeah. You mean what they're doing now?
Right.
So you grew up on country music.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
There's a song called Highwayman. You heard that song?
Who's that by?
Johnny. It's 4 people. Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson.
Yeah. I think I have heard that.
Shit.
Chris Christopherson. He's my guy. I love that guy.
You can look it up real quick. Play it.
Yeah, the Highwayman.
Yeah.
And then
so Highwayman, right? I actually wrote a video that I want to do. I want to actually shoot to that song, but I'm playing all the characters. So it's just this
Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, and Chris Christopherson.
Yeah.
1985.
So I want to do this ghetto, not ghetto. Ghetto's the wrong word. Sorry. This urban style looking video to this song, where I'm singing the lyrics to this song in this world, which is like almost basically the fish out of the water.
So you're going to do a cover version of the song, basically?
Yes, I'm not singing it, but it's going lip sync.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you sing it, recut it?
I can't talk, let alone sing.
Well, you're a comedian.
Yeah. They're going to be like, is this?
So you go for challenges, right?
Yeah.
What's the video?
Oh, just the story. If you play the song, you could hear like they telling stories. Like I feel like country music and
stories,
and hip hop is not that far off. Like hip hop is rap music. They tell stories about.
Right.
And I feel like country music. Like if you listen to like some of Johnny Cash, The Boy Named Sue.
Right.
Kenny Rogers. The Gambler. I'm picking like famous songs so you guys know them, like Dolly Parton, Working 9 to 5,
right.
Or You Pick a Fine Time to Leave Me, Lucille. You know that song?
Right.
400 children, crap in the field. I had some bad times, led to some sad times. It's just a sad ass song about a girl that left a guy with all and nothing with all the kids.
Were you raised with
that girl that left them with all the kids? She's a champion. She's a winner. More women should just leave the man with the kids and bounce.
I don't know.
We've been doing that to them
we got
for
enough
years.
problems.
With their titties
Let's get the families back together.
Yeah.
Were you raised with religion or anything like that?
I was born and raised Catholic.
Oh, okay. What are you still practicing?
No, I'm more spiritual.
More spiritual.
More spiritual. I believe there is a God. I believe there is I just believe. I just feel like the research I did on the Catholic religion is just
Yeah, it's got some shady stuff in it.
White Jesus.
But do you pray?
Yeah, I pray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meditation or anything?
I don't meditate. I know people talk amazing things about meditate. You meditate. You look like a meditator.
I have, but I'm not that.
You're not that good at it.
I could meditate more. Let's put it that way.
Right.
But I tend to I equate that with like running. I'll put on a mantra like Ho'oponopono mantra. That I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. You know that mantra?
I'm sorry. No, what?
It's a Ho'oponopono. It's a Hawaiian mantra. And
what is a mantra? I'm sorry. I'm not going to act like I know what a mantra is. You know what mantra is?
A mantra
I know because of him.
Oh. Like a chant.
Yes.
Something you repeat,
chant.
a sound. But this mantra is words, and it's I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you.
Oh, my mantra is "Till the End of Time" by Tupac.
Till the end of time. How does that one go?
Not like that.
I know. I can't remember how that song
Not
goes.
like that, Poppy.
But yeah, I use that song is my go-to song whenever I'm depressed, whenever I'm heartbroken, whenever I'm just like
That's a mantra,
like,
yeah.
So but I play that
Over and over.
over like in my headphones over and over. Like lately, I've been playing it, the breakup. But that's my go-to thing. Like, Tupac was amazing. I'm not sure how you feel about Tupac.
Love him.
But Tupac was, there's always this. I'm not sure how the battle between who's better,
Biggie or Tupac.
I know. of
Biggie
it.
lyrically nice, but Tupac he was talking about something.
It's the 10 crack commandments. One.
Biggie.
Yeah, Biggie.
And Biggie was nice. Lyrically, he was dope.
Did
Yeah.
you meet either
With a
of those
flow.
guys
I met Tupac.
You
I met
did?
Tupac
Oh,
the
yeah.
first time
at a comedy club?
at a comedy club. So check this out. I hated Tupac for a split second. I'll tell you why. So I saw Tupac, say hello to him. Hey, what's up? He gave me a pound. Hey, what's up? And so these girls who saw me say hi to him. This is after a comedy show, and usually after the comedy show they have like a little after party. And these girls would say, "Hey, Will, you know Tupac?" I'm not gonna say no, cause they just saw me say hello to him. They thought that I was saying hello like we're friends. I'm like, "Yeah, I know Tupac. Yeah, that's my boy." I know Tupac. Yo, can you go get Tupac and tell him come over here and say hi to us? I'm like, sure. So I go over there to Tupac, and the girls is like, whatever, however far. I say, yo, these two girls over there, they want you to come over and say hi to them. Tupac, like, my man, you go, fuck them bitches. Why they gotta come here? Why they gotta send you? How come they can't come here? Fuck that shit. I ain't gonna come over there to some bitches. They can come here just like you came over here, right? And I was like, what?
Nice.
And
Tupac already sensing the power dynamic at
but
play here.
I didn't sense what he was saying. If you take the curse words out, but he had a true meaning. But
It's a point. Yeah, no.
But I took it as like, man, he just called y'all bitches. And so I went back and told these girls. He said, fuck y'all bitches. Y'all should go over there. Fuck, he ain't coming up to y'all. And they were like, yeah, fuck Tupac. Yeah, Will, you was funny. Tupac ain't shit. Maybe 10 minutes later, same two girls. I see him talking and laughing in Tupac's face. I'm like, holy, Tupac was right. Fuck them bitches.
That's a good story.
And I just like.
You could use that one on stage.
I don't know about that, but,
Yeah, you could
but it
turn
just shows like I don't know. It's a lesson, but I don't know what the lesson is. You know.
Well, I know what the lesson is. The lesson is, watch out for people that try to make you sort of submit or in some kind of way, or there's a power struggle. There's always a power dynamic going on. And
Yeah.
he sensed it right away. Like, oh, you want me to come to you, or instead of you coming to me.
And also the same time when I was walking, they could just walk with me to meet
Right.
them.
It doesn't make much
Versus
sense.
like, okay, yeah, come get me. I'll go meet them. Like, yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. But, I mean, also, from their point of view, it might have just been a flirtatious game.
The girls?
The girls. Girls can be like that.
Like, I'm
So
very
can guys.
naive when it comes to women. I don't know anything about women. I'm still learning. So,
Well, they are a mystery.
yes.
Yeah. One thing I like about what you do in your work is that you bring out the musicality of the words, and like when you do the Haitian like accents and stuff like that, and you know what I mean? The sort of, it makes me think of music.
Okay.
It's not really a question. It's just like,
Observation.
it's more just an observation.
Right.
But like, is that
Well,
something?
thank you for relating my comedy to music. I think music is amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like music. I look at the world. This is gonna be a little deep and hard to. I look at the world as numbers, ones and zeros. Everything is math, right? The weight of this microphone. The amount of pressure or word air I'm talking into this microphone, and whatever. Everything is math, right? You're sitting on that chair. Your weight, your hair, the way it's hanging out. It's all these numbers. When a guy throw a basketball or a girl throw a basketball, and the pressure their hands throw the ball and the ball flying through the air, and whether they got to calculate for the wind against the ball and the ball goes in the basket.
Physics.
You know, but it's all numbers.
Yeah, it's all number.
Everything's numbers. You know, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. You know, pi equals 3.14, which I never understood. I understand, but I never understood why that was like. You know, I studied advanced calculus. Obviously, to be an engineer, you have to go far. But
that's crazy to me.
So
I never got past algebra, but anyway, keep going.
It's crazy to Einstein, I bet.
Yeah.
But so it's like everything is numbered. Like example like psychics, right? I feel psychics, they see more numbers than we do, so that's why they're able to see. You know what I'm saying? Everything is numbers.
Patterns.
I feel like patterns, numbers, and you know, like how the Matrix, how he sees. That's how. And I feel like God is the greatest mathematician ever. You know, like the person who made this bench. You know, he had to like cut it and sand it and all this, but he's a form of a mathematician. You know, he made it the right size, the right look or whatever. So everything is I forgot the question.
The question was, it was talking about life. The musicality.
Oh yeah, like so music emits a certain frequency. Number of patterns, numeric patterns out, and it moves you. You know, that moves, and it's not coming out the speakers just, but it moves. It goes through your entire body, and it vibrates your senses of your brain cells and stuff. And music could just change your mood. To good or bad, calm or hostile, music could do so much.
It's powerful.
Music is, and everything is a beat.
Yeah.
Our heart, when people have an irregular beat, that means, what's wrong with your heart?
Something's off.
Yeah, everything is or like, the universe pumps out a certain beat. There's,
Yeah, and words too.
Words, yeah.
And combining, well, that also goes back to the mantra thing, the power of that stuff, like when you just repeat phrases, but also like what you're doing in your work when you like, you sing those phrases. I don't know, like when I heard you do it, it was like a lot of musicality in what you're doing with that. I don't know. Do you never think of it like that?
Because I don't think I have any musical skills in me whatsoever. Although I have written poems.
Right.
I used to write a lot of poetry. I when I was younger, I wanted to be a rapper, but I read
There's still time.
Yeah, 50-year-old rapper. I'll truly be 50 Cent.
You could do it, man.
But I wrote a poem about Patrice O'Neal. You heard of Patrice?
Love Patrice, yeah.
But he and I was roommates for like 7 years.
Oh man, no, that's amazing.
Yeah, Patrice is
his take on like the sexual dynamic and the sexual power plays between men and women was pretty unbelievable at the time.
Oh man, at the time, even now,
even now,
when you think when I thought I knew women, like Patrice had this treasure chest, of dildos.
At home?
At the house.
Okay.
Glass dildos, right?
Well, him and his lady would have other women too.
Well, this is before that.
Oh,
this is like 2002 or something. In fact, I got Patrice to let me tape the first ever Patrice O'Neal podcast in 2001. I was using a mini disc. Mini disc.
I used to tape shows on that.
Yeah. And so I had some friends coming over. I used to cook a lot of food and invite girls over. And one thing Patrice loved about me is he said, "We'll have all these girls over and not fuck none of them." And it's so chill, like, because my thing was not about just having sex, just having people around, laughing, eating. Laughing and eating was two of the best things. Like, let's have some friends over and eat, cook some food, and laugh. So I told Patrice, "Yo, dude, you gotta close the chest because it's gonna offend these women."
Was it in the living
room? And these are like women with proper jobs, lawyers, doctors, whatever. And I'm like, because it's out in the living room and it's open. And so he closed it. Hey, don't worry about it. And he tried to tell me they're gonna. I'm like, dude, it's dildos. And so he didn't want to offend me. Closed it. One of these nosy ass girls went, "What's in this suit? What's in this chest?" They open. I'm like, and slow motion, no. And then she opened it, and all the girls' faces lit up, and they all sat around it, Native American style, around it, touching the dills. Oh my God, and Patrice had to come out and say, yo, chill.
Don't touch my dildo.
Now, he mind them touching it. This is pre-COVID.
Right.
He just didn't want them to steal or break because he used glass dildos. He don't use plastic dildos because of the cleanness.
Yeah.
And then
It's a stupid question. What was he using the chest for? Just when
to
he
hold
had
his dildos, to house his dildos.
No, but he was like using them like with his girlfriends and whatnot.
Yeah, whoever.
Okay, so
whoever.
that was an accessory.
Yeah, he was not just keeping them there.
So why not in his room?
It's a dude. Those chests like the pirate chests.
Yeah,
it's like one of those big ass chests, old fashioned like that, but it had dildos instead of gold.
Nice.
But it was gold to women.
So what happened with the women? Did sex happen then because
women,
of the dildos, or what's the end of the story?
Yes, I didn't know that. Like
it happened.
A lot of these women they try to walk away. Patrice told them they could not take the dildos. One girl stole 2 of the dildos.
No.
Patrice, I guess he has like visual inventory and like whoa, and then the girl had 2 in her purse, and he's like, yo, what you doing? I told you no. Oh, I thought you meant no, don't keep it. I thought you said we could take it home and bring them back. But no, bitch, you heard me.
Yeah.
I said no. And she was like almost about to cry.
She wanted that dildo. So what happened?
So he took it back. He was like, "This is not Christmas, bitch. Take the dildos out your bag."
It didn't turn into like a sex thing.
It did. So a few of these girls came back. And when I watched my, hey, what you doing here? We're not cooking. I'm just here to see Patrice, and she went right into his room.
Wow.
And and then another thing he did, one day I come home, and Patrice has a swing set in the living room.
Everything's
right?
in the living room.
I'm thinking I'm like, dude, you trying to bring your childhood back? Like I never seen one of these.
Sex
before.
swing.
Yeah, but I thought it was just a kiddie swing. I'm like, dude, like we could go to the park. The park is not far away. We could just go to the park.
Yeah.
Why you need to put this in the living room? He said, yeah, shh. He was like, his big was like, shh. You don't know what you're talking about. And so again, we was having girls over. I said, dude, you gotta get rid of this swing set. He go, I have nowhere to put it. So we left it in the living room. These girls come over, barely took off their coat, jumped on that swing set, put their legs on the thing, and like with their legs wide open. Oh my God, I want to get fucked like this.
Wow,
this is so good. And Patrice was just taking turns like miming fucking them.
Wow,
with their clothes on, obviously, and they was like into it. And I'm sitting back like, I really don't know women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you thought, like the things that like this is like. You think they're gonna be offended by this, and I blame men, because men make women ashamed of loving sex.
How do you mean that?
Like, you whore, you slut, as opposed to just letting women celebrate. Hey, you got 10 dicks? Good for you, girl. Get 11 dicks.
Right.
Like instead of like shaming them, like, so what? She wants dicks. Guys get vagina pussy all the time, so why girls can't enjoy penis as much as we enjoy? So it's like women can't just be out because they get shamed, they get talked about, they get ground in the dirt.
You think still nowadays? I don't know about now.
Yeah, still now.
Back in the day, maybe.
It's still there, man. It's still there. Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
So what was it like living with Patrice? How did you meet him?
I met him at the Comedy Connection in Boston.
And so where did you guys roommate together? Here?
Here.
In New York?
Yeah.
And you just became friends, I guess?
We was friends kind of like before we was roommates. He, I saw him in Boston, and he liked my comedy. And then he was a security guard at the Comedy Connection, and he started doing comedy there.
Yeah.
And then he moved to New York City. But he was living in Jersey, but the commute from Jersey to New York was so far, and then I was like right there, only 5 minutes from Manhattan. So he asked, I had a spare. I was living in a 4-bedroom apartment, and 2 roommates, and then I told him, I got a spare bedroom. You going to? This is what it was. It was too late for him to get the bus to go all the way back home. So I said, yo, you want to crash? I got a spare bedroom. You could crash there, and he said, oh, cool, bet. And then he crashed there. He took a shower, and he said, "Well, I'm not going back home. I'm going to go to my show now."
Stayed
and
for
he
7
saw how
years.
close it was. He was like, "This is amazing," and so then I just
Moved in.
Yeah, moved in.
Were you blown away by his comedy?
Yeah. I was blown away more by his because he used to wake up every day and
It's like a philosopher.
yeah, we talk.
Yeah.
We talk like I wish I would have recorded like his talks. He taught me so much. It was too much for me to absorb.
On my last tour, before this COVID thing hit, I was just listening to old Patrice interviews over and over again. I was listening to tons of them. There's tons of them.
Yeah.
Like him on Opie and Anthony or whatever and all that stuff, and just so many genius rants on YouTube with him.
Oh yeah. I mean one of the things he told me about to be a better comedian. He said, don't limit your knowledge on, like, have something to say about everything, but make sure it's either funny or interesting. That's the only two things people pay attention to. Because you could be on stage like Chappelle. You don't have to be funny, but if you're interesting, people will pay attention.
Yeah.
If you're funny, they'll pay attention. But if you just yabba dabba doing about nothing, then I mean that was my take on it. Yabba dabba doing about nothing. No one want to listen. So you have to be either interesting or funny. And then the second best advice I think he gave me was, so the stage, like if you look, Ahad, I'm not sure you can relate to this, but on stage, we're on stage this much in our lifetime, but you off stage this much. So he said you practice being funny like off stage, then when you get on here it'll be nothing. So basically, your voice. This is your voice. Our voice is what we try to find your voice as a comic on stage. But if you practice it off stage, you have way more practice time than 20 minutes, 10 minutes on stage. And that's how you find your. I'm not sure if I even said it correctly.
Yeah, you did. And how would he practice his voice off stage?
Every time someone's had anything to say, he'll find something interesting take or a funny way of looking at it.
Interesting or funny?
Yeah,
I
interesting
like that.
or funny.
That's a mantra.
Yes, a mantra.
Yeah.
So that's his two things. Like if you whatever you have to say, either and don't be afraid of taking a chance. Like let's say you say something. Well, I ain't got nothing on that. Well, take a stab at it. Try, or get more information to learn about it so you could know more about it. That's another thing. Is like he didn't limit his knowledge. Like if he didn't know something, he wants to know more about it.
Yeah, that's great. Isn't it great to have something that you're like constantly working towards, like such as comedy or something like this, or like don't you feel like we're very lucky to have these kind of things, these sort of pursuits?
Yeah, because when I get up, so I box like before COVID. I would get up like 7:30, 8 o'clock. Even though I come home like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, go to sleep 4 o'clock, and get up at 7:30 to go box in the morning.
That's not enough sleep.
Yeah, but I'll explain later.
Okay.
But I would get up.
I'm the same way.
I would get up, get dressed, go on the train during rush hour, and watch all these people who's going to work at a place for 8 hours, sad and like the expression on their face is just, and it's not a morning thing, because sometimes when I'm the rush hour coming home, they still got that same sad face on the way home. And just like you said, it's like when you're doing something you love, and like it was a different thing for me. Like I'm on the train because I want to. You guys have to.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like I don't have to be up here on the train to go boxing. I could be in bed. But the reason why I get up, because I used to waste my days when I was before 2006. I used to waste my days sleeping, playing video games, eating unhealthy, and so I just made it a habit. Like I need to absorb the sun and absorb the day.
That's real true.
And I see enough of the night. I never see enough of the day and life.
Yeah.
So I just I'll find probably the hardest thing for me now is to get enough sleep.
Yeah.
And sleep is just as healthy as like eating healthy and exercising. So, but think COVID. The good thing about COVID is everybody been getting a lot of sleep.
Yeah, that's true. I like the days. I'm trying to become more of a morning person all the time. That's a constant goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing like trying to get up in time for the sunrise for like a week of the lockdown. I did it, and then I flaked on it, but Now I get up reasonably early.
What's early?
I get up like around, 8:39. It's not that bad.
That's good.
That's not bad. That's not
Oh,
bad.
I thought you were gonna say like 3 or 2.
No. I'm those days I did days like that
Right.
back in the day, but not
I get
anymore.
I get up like clockwork, like 6:30 a.m.
Yeah. See, I like that. I want to get even more
6:30.
sort of military like that. Like, that
Yeah.
Jocko guy who's
But-
like
but-
4:30 a.m. every day.
But freehand, like no alarm clock. I just naturally get up.
Yeah.
And I like it. Not that I like it, but I just a thing that I just get up. I've been boxing with my trainer on Zoom at 7 a.m.
Wow.
If you ever want to join. Oh, we do boxing on
Zoom.
Saturdays
Oh.
at 11 a.m. if you want to join us.
Well, we're starting to do the pier, going to the pier. I don't know if you want to do anything like that, but
Oh, yeah, with the trainer, with
yeah,
Ramon.
with Ramon.
Ramon.
Yeah, Ramon and Liz.
Is Ramon from Beach Street? You know Beach Street? You guys know Beach Street?
Was that a movie, right?
Yeah.
Beach Street, yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, I think it was a Grandmaster Flash. Ramon.
That's the thing. Have you ever heard this theory, like the brain arose to facilitate movement?
Wait, you got to say that in slow motion.
The brain arose to facilitate
The brain
movement.
arose
To facilitate movement.
Okay.
Like, so the whole purpose of our brain is movement. Like, really, that's the dominating purpose of having this organism or whatever up here, this other thing. Because the brain arose to facilitate movement, things like boxing and especially when you're doing a movement-based activity where you're trying to improve upon it, like boxing, which is repetition. That's like your brain is at its best. It's at its peak at those moments. And when somebody explained this to me, that made me realize why I like boxing so much and things like yoga and running and stuff, because that's where I get my best ideas when I'm like lost in those kind of activities. Do you find that?
Yeah. I mean, boxing helps in so many different things, like whether you're trying to think of a song, think of a joke, get over something, or get some aggression or stress out. I mean, boxing is just a great cure, and plus you're learning to defend yourself.
Yeah, that's true too.
Not that you want to go out and whoop someone's ass, but like I could, I'm good as long as you don't have a gun. I'm good.
Did you ever want to compete with it?
Yeah, I did. There was a time because I'm not sure like you. There was a time when you was training so hard.
Me too, and I wanted to compete too. I was like getting way into it like that.
Yeah, in fact, I almost had 3 fights. One of them I canceled, and 2 of them the opponents canceled.
So you still haven't done it yet?
I still haven't done it. No.
Are you still open to it, or are you letting that go?
I don't know. I will never say never.
Yeah, I would never say never about it as well.
But right now, I'm like, I just want to get this movie out, and but when you start competing when you start training 6 days a week, there was a point I was training 6 days a week, 3 hours a day, 2 to 3 hours a day.
Incredible.
Like nonstop. I don't have one day off, and I was like jacked up. I was
Did you get your
really
six-pack?
fast. I got a crazy six-pack.
Crazy six-pack.
I never had 6-pack in my life. I was going around showing it to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at this. Like this is what
I've been known to do that too.
Take your shirt off every now.
Well,
and then.
I won't take my shot. Just
On
lift my shirt up.
Instagram. No, this guy.
I do here and there.
Yeah.
You got every once in a while a shirtless post.
But you never been fat. You never been fat, right?
Well, I've been like, I don't know. I wouldn't say I was fat, but I had some extra weight here and there.
Yeah, but not fat. I've been
Not
fat.
fat.
So
no.
my 6-pack goes away quick.
Yeah, you got to keep it. I did a 3-minute plank today with
Damn.
after we train, we do that.
I do. My trainer does this thing called infinite. I call it infinite plank. So you plank on your forearms, right, for a minute. Then you plank on your side for a minute. Then you come back on your forearm. Then you plank on the other side for a minute. You come back on your forearm. Then you twist your body for a minute. Then you go on your side and you go up and down.
Yeah.
Then you come back on your forearm. You go on the other side. Go up and down. And you come back on your forearm. And you go back and forth.
Right.
Just saying that.
That's crazy. So outside of Chapelle, who do you think are some of the best people currently in the community?
So
or is
many.
that not a good thing to talk about?
No.
Or who are your favorites, I would say?
The thing is, I'm such a fan of comedy.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many, like, I just like the art. I mean, Chapelle is obviously up there,
Dave Attell.
Dave Attell. Oh
Dave
my God,
Attell.
Dave Attell.
Love him.
Bill Burr,
I like Bill Burr
Godfrey.
too.
Godfrey, Patrice
Amazing.
O'Neal, even
Patrice is amazing.
Jim Norton, Jackie Fabulous. I know you guys never heard of Jackie Fabulous.
That sounds familiar, but
Marina Franklin, Keith Robinson.
You know Dave Hill?
No, I don't know
No,
Dave Hill.
right.
Sorry.
what about Ian Fidance?
Ian Fidance? Oh, that's my boy. Ian
Yeah,
Fidance.
he's been on the podcast.
We had him
before.
last year.
Ian Fidance.
He
He's
came
coming
not
up.
knowing anything down to a basement with us.
Oh yeah.
And then they took their shirts
We
off.
took our
and
shirts
it was-
off.
For real?
It's
Yeah.
pretty wild.
Is a
with
video
Ian.
of that?
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
check that out.
Yeah, we started it with no shirts on.
Yeah.
Like
The thing
SIGs
about-
on, shirts off.
The thing about Ian that you know that's very rare in comedy. Fearless.
Yeah.
Fearless.
That's a good point, man. That's a really good point about him. He is fearless.
Yeah.
You're right.
And just we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's see when I take off my shirt. See what happens. See how this go.
Right. I've seen you live at the Cellar. I mean, that's how I knew about you. MCing a lot and doing it was like, I mean, that's where I found out about Dave. I used to go a lot, not so much recently, but when he mentioned the Chapelle tour, how is that different for you than the Comedy Cellar where the crowd is tight?
Tony Chapelle.
No, to then go on stage at Radio City, and when it's that big for comedy, is it like I know for him he talks about playing on Radio City stage versus a small stage.
Right, but the difference is when I was at Radio City, not just the crowd, but working with Chapelle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being closed in. Like, you know, you got two great. Well, I feel like Chappelle is greater than Radio City, but you know, and plus, it's like, you know, you want to do great. All the years of practice, all the years of repetition, you came to this for days like this. You know,
And it's tough to be an opener. That's not the easiest thing.
yeah, but it's better than not opening.
Well, true. No, and
All
especially
the comics
especially in
sitting
that,
there like,
in that situation.
Can I do a minute, Dave?
No,
Yeah.
but with that huge of a crowd for a comedian, how does it work?
Always. I mean, after a while, you just
Focus on the front?
no, you just I can't. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just the fear is there, but you use the fear for energy and just like, and then plus you just know, and then plus you had enough bad shows to know how to get out of those bad shows, you know, or not bad moments, so you don't become a bad show.
All right.
How's your comedy evolving right now?
Yeah, it's not going nowhere.
Not going nowhere? Well, you got a broken heart right now.
That and then just not getting on stage, you know, but mentally I'm trying to hold it together. That's most important.
Yeah, we got to keep it together.
Yeah.
And what are your practices for keeping it together nowadays?
My script actually, the Maurice script. So even if we haven't raised the money yet, I told Brian Kennedy is a guy who I wrote most of these films with. I told him, I said, yo, let's not keep making a dead script. I call it dead script. It's like once people write the script, they just leave it until they raise the money, as opposed to, no, let's keep working on it, scene by scene, line by line, or developing, making it better. Things could always be better. I don't care how good it is, as long as it's not shot yet, it's not cut, like even you as a musician, like the lyrics, the music, things could always be better. But once you make the album and once you cut it, then it's a wrap.
done.
Yeah, it's done.
Well, except for you can reinvent them live too. But yeah, they say no work of art is ever finished. It's just abandoned. You ever heard that?
No, I never. That's dope as shit. I never heard that.
It's really true though, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
it's just you finally get sick of it enough. You're like, I'm done.
Even a joke you
know?
could reinvent.
Yeah. Even a joke. You know what? Sometimes I won't mention them, but sometimes comedians they'll do the same joke the same way, as opposed to like you could do the same joke but add a little twist or change up a little bit, even a little bit.
Do the acoustic version.
Something
of it.
because I watch a comic be like, you laugh now, but my wife didn't think it's funny, and then they'll say the same line and the crowd's not even laughing. You laugh now, but my wife didn't think it's funny. I'm like, dude, they're not even laughing. At least change your improv, your pre-recorded improv up. Yeah, you laugh now.
Although there's been times when I get in a weird banter rut where I'll keep saying the same banter over and over in different shows, and it won't work, like a little segment of it, and I'm like, and I'll say, in my brain inside will be like, why are you doing this again? You know this doesn't work.
Well, you know what
and
it is?
it's like somehow it's like a tick or something.
I'll tell you what it is.
What is that?
There was a time it worked.
Maybe once
right?
or something.
Oh,
yeah.
well, I'm talking about like a joke. There was a time it worked, and then for some reason, I'm not talking about like a time joke versus timeless jokes. Time joke was like when you talk about, you know, current events. Timeless jokes is when you just talk about whatever and it work 10 years or 15 years from now. It's cause you lose that glare, that energy. Yeah. You're saying it. Your voice is not the same. That look in your eyes is not the same. You're not holding a microphone when you first said a new joke. You know, so I think that's what it is. But in your case, you just don't want to give up a bad thing.
You know what it is?
Like
I love awkwardness on stage. I lean into awkwardness. I don't know. There's something about when I get a room really awkward. I like that. I like that feeling.
Maybe you think that it can't get any worse than this.
It's just like, I don't know what it is. I just like awkwardness. It's this weird energy. This like kind of almost uncomfortable, but I know I can land it.
So you should try to flip it one day.
Yeah. Like
land it a lot and then make it awkward and see if you could come back from that.
Okay. See, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like there's a relationship between boxing and comedy, probably, isn't there? I don't know what it
timing,
is. Yeah.
Quick on your feet.
Quick on your
quick
feet.
Thinking.
Just like, you know, because boxing, right? You have to study your opponent. You know, when you spar, you have to like, you know, let them throw a couple, see what works, what doesn't work, you know, and then just same thing with the crowd. You got to study them. You got to know what works, what doesn't work, and even stuff that doesn't work. How can I make it work?
Right.
You know, like if you do a double jab and uppercut, let's say he see like, all right, double jab uppercut, I see it coming, right? But double jab uppercut, but not uppercut, but a hook, a low hook, which is like. Because uppercut come from up here and the hook is up here. But what about a hook down here to your kidneys, bitch? Bam.
Yeah, you didn't see that coming.
Yeah, but so it kind of work.
Yeah.
I've been doing this thing called jab uppercut.
Jab uppercut. Oh
like,
yeah.
But it's a jab, but you come
from
up. No, jab uppercut.
Like that?
Yeah, so you hit from here instead of here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you had to use your back boxing on the street?
No, thank God.
No, thank God. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this has been really awesome. We've done about 2 hours or something.
For real?
Like that.
About 2
Yeah,
hours.
2 hours. Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
snap.
Yeah. Why are you sorry?
Oh, my bad.
That's a good thing.
Do you have a funny Dave Attell story before we wrap up?
Dave Attell?
I've been trying to get him on this podcast. I loved it. He's the funniest motherfucker.
Dave is one.
Wait, we're with the funniest motherfucker.
No, dude. Dave Attell.
I'll tell it to him. Dave is
even Dave Attell's not here. He's still the
funny
funniest person.
Yeah, he's like completely like the most well-respected comedian out there.
Underrated,
Well, him and
I'd say.
Chappelle, I would say, are the most.
And ironically, they got similar names.
Right.
Yeah.
Dave Attell, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah,
so
that's funny.
One time, so there was a time.
Shout out Dave Attell.
There was a
Please come
time.
on the podcast.
There was a time Chappelle kept coming to the cellar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I get give it up, and whenever I introduce him, I give it up for the one and only Dave, and the crowd like, oh my God, Chappelle, right? So now you gotta understand. I look at Dave Attell the same. He's a god to me. He's funny as shit. So I introduced Dave Attell the same. Give it for Dave Attell, and Attell gets up, and it's not to say right.
That's funny. See, he leaned into it though.
Attell go, well, when you say my name, just say it quick. Just say it, Dave Attell. Don't pause.
No false pretense.
Don't lean in on the Dave.
He don't give a fuck. That's what I love about him.
But oh man, David, I do a lot of banter with him. Like, he's the best guy to do, because I could throw anything out and he'll just turn it into a unicorn. You know, he make it magical. Whereas anybody else, they'll like, I don't know nothing about that. Let's go to the next topic. You know what I'm saying? But Dave Attell doesn't. He find the funny in anything. You know, I feel like his brain is always working, and he just need fuel. And when I'm bantering with him, I just throw anything at him.
When bantering, like what, on stage together?
stage,
like
on
if
stage
you're
together.
introducing him, then you got to.
Sometimes, when I introduce him,
banter,
sometimes a lot of times he keep me on the stage. Say, "Well, don't go nowhere. Have a seat." And then he'll do a few jokes, and he and I just go back and forth and talk shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then him and Jeff Ross did that whole like.
It started with
Back
shit
and
like
forth.
that.
It started with me and him, actually. I don't want, not that I want taking credit, but yeah.
Did it really?
Me and Dave started the banter at the Cellar, and it went so well a long time ago. And Dave just liked it. He just because Dave gets tired of doing the same shit, so he likes a challenge. That's another thing about him. He likes a challenge, and that was a challenge of the bantering. And then Jeff Ross saw it, and then Jeff Ross got a bigger name than I do, so then them two started doing it, and so they decided to do a show, and that's how they
I don't know this for a fact because I haven't seen it, but I have a sense, and my senses can sometimes be really correct. I feel like you and Dave have a better chemistry than Jeff and Dave. I'm just saying that. Obviously, I can't know that, but it's a feeling, and my feeling is correct in this case. I'm 100% sure about it.
But the show is good.
Yeah.
Bumping mics.
Bumping mics. Yeah. No, I wasn't trying to diss.
No, I know.
I saw them do it in the Cellar
home.
before it was bumping mics, like randomly. And like Jeff was down there for something randomly, and it
Jeff
sort
is
of
funny
started.
Yeah.
Have you done some Zoom comedy stuff or anything like that?
I did one or two, I think.
How did that go?
I don't like it, man.
Nah, man, it's tough, isn't it? I did some live streams. It's easier with music.
Music is different, because music, right? No disrespect to your thing. You could play music in the background, cooking.
Right.
You could you could
it
even
it doesn't require constant engagement.
Right. But also music is so good. It's good with anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Comedy, you need, it's like a 1-year-old or a 6-month-year-old
constant
kid.
attention.
You gotta, all right, I can't leave him alone. I gotta watch him.
And reaction.
Yes.
Yeah. So you don't get any of that feedback back. It's
the main ingredient to comedy is the audience.
Right.
Then it's just a talk show.
They need to figure out a way to where, I don't know how, but in the Zoom, I guess
he said put microphone in the audience.
And mic up the audience.
Because I had this conversation with Dave Hill, a friend of ours who's a comedian and a musician. I do live streaming, and I'm like, Dave, come do like a live stream, multi-camera, and do your comedy act. And he's like, if there's not a crowd there, I cannot do it. It's not gonna work.
Yeah,
it can't be done
because we live off of that laughter, that high, the main thing. We don't go to an empty club and just do jokes.
Right, it doesn't work.
No, we need, even if it's the smallest audience I ever performed in front of was 2 people.
Right now.
We need to be together more. Like this is I think this is gonna affect us in really weird ways. Just the fact that we haven't been able to all just be in a room together, pulsing.
I think once we get past it, once whatever vaccine comes out or whatever.
Would you take the vaccine? See, I'm not trusting Bill Gates that much. I don't.
Why is Bill Gates so behind it so much? Was he always like this?
Exactly.
I'm seeing all these memes about Bill Gates and vaccine
it's weird.
And this the future. Has he always been like this? Was this always a thing? Do you guys know anything about that?
Yeah, I mean he's. There's a long history with him, and it's definitely controversial.
But why? What would that's any videos of why?
Well, there's that one TED talk where he says if we're lucky with vaccines and we're good with vaccines and health stuff, we can get the population down by 1 million or something. Like he said that.
But there's nothing where someone says there's a chip and then.
Well, there's all kinds of and just.
And if you don't take a vaccine, then you starve or you won't.
Well, the theory is we're going to go towards a cashless society. Like they're already saying, okay, there's a coin shortage and stuff like that, and people,
By the way, not in my house. I got a gang of coins. I saved up.
Yeah, me too. That's where they all went. They're in my house
with the glass dildos in the chest.
Yeah, but yeah. So then we go to a cashless society, and then that way, if you don't comply with okay, if you don't get the vaccine, your social score goes down, and you can't really care for yourself without being attached to the matrix.
China is doing that,
right, with the social credit scores.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we're sort of heading in those directions if we're not careful.
But what do you mean if we're not careful? What do you mean if we're not careful?
If we're not careful, if we let the totalitarian tiptoe take hold, as David Icke says, the the theory of the frog in the pot of water. Back to frogs and toads. Here we go. This is
There you
like
go, full circle.
full circle, but like
frog come or
like,
toad come again.
yeah, but you know the frog in the pot of water slow to boil doesn't notice, and then all of a sudden the water's boiling. You know, so like we're giving up our freedoms. You know, and we just have to be careful not to give up our freedoms.
Right.
Is the idea.
Otherwise, you'd be like North Korea.
Otherwise, we'll be like, you know, like
North Korea.
you know, lockdown. You have to wear a mask everywhere you go. You have
North Korea.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to be careful. I think I'm a little
Pay
bit.
attention,
I'm concerned
Yeah.
with that. I don't
So
know.
you're not getting vaccinated.
I wouldn't trust it personally speaking. I feel like. You know, my philosophy and my theory with all this stuff is I really know how to promote health. Like I just also think like with all this like focus on sickness, and there seems to be very little focus on letting people know certain basic things to boost their immune system.
Oh yeah,
Healthy
yeah.
Like
eating.
there's tons of stuff we know for a fact that like, you know, that I think like the news station should be like telling people, you know, promoting self-care, get rid of like sugar stuff, get rid of this stuff that like leads
But
to
you
sickness.
know why though, right?
And also I do know why, because it's big business.
Big money. It's
Yeah,
like,
I know.
there's
There's no money in
And
healthy people.
Have you ever?
But
but
but I'm just explaining my take on the vaccine thing. I know how to keep myself healthy. You know what I mean? In my opinion. So I don't feel like I need a vaccine and I don't really just trust the whole narrative of what we're being told actually either really fully. You know, I don't claim to know what is going on, but I wouldn't be first in line for the vaccine on this.
Yeah.
Personally speaking, because there's enough controversial shit around it, and there's enough weird like, wait, why is this guy in charge of this, and why is he so, you know, all this stuff, you know, with how sort of sketchy certain aspects of Bill Gates are and all that kind of stuff. I'm just like, I'm not down. And plus I feel like I'm super healthy, and I do a lot of work to keep myself really healthy. Diet, discipline, these kind of things. I believe the body is a miraculous machine that if you like sort of honor it and you look after it, and this is what I feel like we should be pushing towards people. Not like, oh, eat a bunch of shit, eat a bunch of crap and do this, and then we're going to shoot you full of this weird shit. And then like, you know what I mean?
Take a pill and
I just don't believe that doesn't resonate with me. Like I just don't feel it. And then
Good
plus
point.
if you also like look at the history of vaccines, and this gets into like weird territory, but like the cases of autism spiking up, but like through the roof once vaccines went from 3, like what we got in our generation when we were young, to 70, and then now like
70.
oh yeah, like it's like a crazy amount of vaccines they give babies now. So it's like, and then since they started doing that, like all of a sudden cases of autism went from like 1 in 1,000. I don't know the actual numbers, but like it's something. It's a huge jump to like 1 in 40 or something like that. Again, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's a roughly like that. It's a tremendous spike that you can see right when vaccines started becoming like really, really crazy.
And no one's making that connection. I'll also add to that the foods with the bad foods with the
Yeah.
Ironically,
Food is everything.
food. Yeah, Patrice O'Neal is the one that really got me on the health tip.
That's
You know,
interesting.
Patrice was determined to beat, you know, his fat and be more healthier. You know, we went from eating everything to being a vegetarian, vegans, raw food, and I'm not sure about the raw food diet. Raw food is like the healthiest way you could live. It's like 10 levels above vegan. And raw food is not raw meat, but eating your foods. Eating your foods like the vegetables and fruits uncooked. 'Cause when you cook the veg foods, you kill a lot of vitamins, amino acids.
And some people do that with meat
nutrients.
as well. Like, and like if you get really well sourced, good quality meat, that's supposed to be
But
really
we don't
nutritious
we're
too.
not
but-
really, yeah. So it's like
Or raw milk is also known to be like incredibly healthy. But I know that you're lactose or you don't like
You're
the
off
lactose.
there.
But I'm just saying, like, yeah, like
But you know what people
We're-
think is disgusting? There's a guy in Australia
I do the raw eggs, by the way.
when his wife was pregnant, he got a lot of her milk.
Yeah.
He stored it in the freezer,
I saw
and
that.
and he was use it to cook, to drink, eat his cereal, and people thought he was disgusting. But then people like us take milk from a cow, and that's not disgusting, or from a goat. Well, one thing, back to the vaccine thing, a line that Patrice got me into this book called Skinny Bitch, and he told me one of the best quotes. There's a bunch of quotes in that book. Now, you're not sure you heard of that book.
No.
It's called Skinny Bitch.
Oh, okay.
And one of the lines they said is, the more you take over the top medicine like NyQuil, Theraflu, whatever, the more you prohibit your body from naturally healing itself.
Right. Same thing with antibiotics.
Your immune system is like a muscle.
Yeah.
When you don't work it, you lose it.
Yeah.
You know. So remember when I was talking about I ain't jerk off.
Fasting
fasting close to
fasting as well. Like fasting is so healthy. Like that's the thing. And these are things we know. These aren't controversial things. We know that like doing a 3-day water fast is like super healthy. Your body goes into autophagy. It eats away the dead cells. Then all of a sudden by day, like 1.5 days into it, stem cells reproduce. You can also then apply mantras, and you can use your head to implement thoughts of health and stuff like that. I mean, there's all kinds of ways that people could learn to take care of themselves and get like a superhero level of health. And these are the things I wish people would be obsessively talking about.
I've been intermittent fasting for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
You know, I started. You know what intermittent fasting is?
From 9 to 9 or something.
Oh no, what it is? Was 16 hours.
Yeah.
You fast,
and
you have an eating window.
Oh, and you eat for 8 hours. 16 hours you fast for.
Okay. Every
every day, and then you eat. But I've been averaging about 18 hours, and I really eat one meal, and I snack off of nuts, fruits, and so the fasting been helping me. Like when I feel like your digestive system is the biggest machine, the
gut biome, the whole thing is such an incredible machine.
When you let that rest, I remember when I first started fasting, I must have slept like a baby because my body was fully rested. Because your digestive system had to break the food apart,
works all the time.
Throw acid on it, pull out the vitamins, take out the nutrients, take that fiber out. And it's working, and just because you're sleeping doesn't mean it stops. Is your body? But when you shut that down, I felt so relaxed,
bro. Your body give yourself a chance to heal.
Yes,
like your body is like, oh, thank you. Now I can like do all this damage repair. It's
like,
instead of you constantly taxing me with constant food
food that doesn't matter.
Yeah, especially crap food, and it's
crap food. I can't do nothing with it, but now I gotta take it out.
I gotta change my habits, guys.
Do it, bro.
You're inspiring.
Well, dude, it's I know it's a momentum thing.
I do it. I never keep it up.
But don't say that because you're gonna you reinforce that behavior.
Wait, don't say what?
Well, I'm saying like if you say I do it but I never keep it up, then you're saying to yourself I never keep it up. So then you won't be able to succeed because you keep reinforcing that negative.
Can I give you some advice?
Yes, please.
I always tell people, first thing first, before you even try to tackle the huge weight problem, right? What do you really want, right? So either you want to be healthy or you don't, right? If you don't, it's okay. Live your life. It's your life. If you want to be a hot mess, unhealthy, then fine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of people try to live in that gray area. I kind of do. No, I think you should pick one.
Make up your mind.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's okay to be unhealthy. It's your choice.
Yeah.
But if you want to be healthy, understand this. You will fail. You will, that's part of learning. You will be unsuccessful. But you have to give your time to get to this new lifestyle because you this is the only way you know. Now you also have to give your taste buds time to change because you're so used to certain tastes, smells, textures. So now you turn into this new life. So you have to. It's trial and error. You got to try these healthy foods. Okay, I don't like that. Or like this. Until you find the right amount, the right foods, healthier foods you like.
Yeah.
And for me, it could always be healthy. So once you get to that level. Okay, boom, and you're in a comfort zone. Now to the next healthy level, and so forth. Till you keep your goal is always health. Not a number on the scale, or I need to see my penis because my stomach is in the way. But your goal should always be health, and that's the direction you head for. Right, and it's okay. Like, I mean, how many times I fail? Like, I went back to certain foods, or I fell off. I haven't had ice cream since 2007, right? And some people are like, oh my God, yeah, you're not living your life. I'm like, you know what? When I was living my life, you ever hear people say, live your life, you could die tomorrow?
Yeah.
When I was living my life, I felt like I was gonna die tomorrow. I had hypertension, high blood pressure, my knees was hurting. I had skin problems. Yeah. I felt like I was gonna die tomorrow. So now my thing is, I know this sounds corny, but I live my life like I'm gonna live tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, and also like discipline is a celebration. That's the thing. Like when I go on a run or something, there's like I'm celebrating life at that point. More so than if I'm like up in the club, like, I feel like, like, I mean, both things can be a celebration, but I feel like to your point that it's like, yeah, like live your life. Well, yeah, living my life is when I'm like actually taking care of it and progressing to another place. That's the exciting shit in life, having a purpose.
Hey, the reason why we save money for rent, right? Because you don't want to be homeless next month, right? So I treat my body the same way. I want to save it because I'm going to be alive tomorrow, as opposed to like I might die tomorrow. Well, okay, what if you don't die tomorrow? Right. You're gonna have this big old gut. You're gonna have diabetes. You're gonna have cancer, hypertension, stuff that's gonna in the future. Yeah. That shit, maybe like people wait till they get sick to do something about it, as opposed to, you know what, I'm going to prevent me from getting sick. And I'm not trying to be 100. I'm not trying to be 90, 85. I don't even think I'm going to make it there. I think I'm out of here at 55.
Don't say that. Come on, bro. You're like 55 now. Stop that.
So, but I do it because I want to live now. Yeah. Today. Today is the most important day. Because I'm here now. I don't know about tomorrow or 100 years from now, but now. So I do it because I want to live now. And when I go upstairs, I used to go upstairs sideways because my knees hurt so much. Wow. Or come downstairs sideways. And now I go upstairs forward and, not sure that's...
Forward and backward.
Yeah, not sure. That's going to motivate anybody. Oh, wow. You know what?
Dude, that was great.
I want to go upstairs forward and backward, too.
That was beautiful what you just said, everything. I liked it. What you just said was very inspirational.
Oh yeah, thank you. You was inspired. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah,
I'm gonna take some health tips from you now, man.
Yeah. Well, like we can inspire each other.
Yeah. You do intermittent fasting.
I kind of do. Like I like doing the 3-day water fast, and then like every once in a while, and then I usually do about one meal a day. So I don't really like time it. But that's just kind of my natural way.
Yo, how crazy!
I haven't eaten today yet. Oh no, I did eat. Actually, never mind.
How crazy it is! The shit they used to teach us was so wrong.
I know.
The pyramid.
Bread at the top.
Bread at the top.
I don't know if bread was at the top, but that's just sugar.
Sugar
that's
was
just sugar.
At the top, yeah.
I remember as a kid eating the little sugar cubes.
No, the companies. Open your butt cheeks and fucking your ass was at the top.
Yeah.
It's like, do you ever see this movie called WALL-E?
Yeah, with a robot movie.
Yeah,
Pixar.
Yeah. So do you remember? I swear to God, before that movie come out, that's how I pictured the world would be. I'm not sure you saw it at the end.
I saw the whole thing many times. Yeah.
And they got robots because they eating so much and they can't move. Yeah. So, but yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Sorry.
That's what you thought the world was going to be.
Yes.
A lot of big people with a robot.
Yes.
And the garbage.
It's kind of coming true, but except we're not all big. But there are robots coming. What do you think of the AI about to happen?
I think it's just like anything else, man. It could destroy us. It could help us out. I love technology. We could use it against us. We could, the way they taking temperature now with these little guns.
It's weird, like, right? The symbolism of all this I find fascinating. Gun to your head, and with the temperature, and the mask is like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
it's just like it's a lot of wild symbolism, and 6 feet apart, 6 feet down,
6 feet down. Also,
I mean, it's just like, what the fuck?
In the hip hop community, we use I keep that heater on me.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
The heater mean gun, and so now they putting a heater to your forehead.
Yeah, it's a little.
It's like
it's a red dot.
Yeah,
it's a little red dot. It's a little bonkers.
There's a lot of things. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know what's going on, but of course, people like us, conspiracy theorists, or they don't know what they're talking about.
Critical thinkers.
Yeah, like free. Yeah,
comedians.
I'm not saying. Look, I believe COVID. I'm not one of these guys. COVID don't exist. I believe it's.
I think it exists.
Yeah.
I think the reaction to it is going to become more devastating than it pretty soon, if not already. But we'll see. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off though.
Oh no. I think we should wear a mask, keep 6 feet apart, because as of right now, that's the one thing we do know from other countries. I always look at what other countries are doing. Wearing their masks, keeping 6 feet apart, and it's keeping And if you know about how viruses spread, our eyes, our nose, our mouth is the most common way that goes in our body. Mm-hmm. So it's like if you could keep. I also think the flu might have its worst season ever.
Well, this is my fear about the fact that
why the flu would be the worst season?
Yeah, because we've like
the flu need us
kitty
to
handled our immunity system, so our immunities are all weak with like little weak.
No.
And so when the flu comes, it's gonna like devastate.
No. I think the worst season now, meaning the flu won't be able to spread around as much because we're keeping apart from each other. We're wearing a mask, so the flu won't be able to get around as much. I think.
Well, I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I don't think you're right, but I do really very much hope you are right.
Okay, put it this way. Last year September, we were touching each other, we were shaking hands, we were talking in each other's face. The flu were able to get around easily, right? But now imagine we're not that close to each other, we're not touching each other. How can the flu spread as much?
Well, I'm sure you're still touching some people, right? You're not. Are you
not
touchless?
Listen,
touchless.
Well, no.
I mean, some of us are still touching.
You gotta understand.
Even if it's in secret.
I am so lonely.
Yeah.
If someone just brushed my elbow, I get an erection. Right. I'm like, please be a girl. Please be a girl.
Well, I'm not a girl, but I'll give you a hug.
Yeah, but I don't really go out.
Keep safe social distance.
And plus, when I do go out, if I see someone, elbow, and someone made a comment yesterday like, yeah, but you get the COVID on your elbow.
Oh,
but how can you scratch your eyes with your elbow?
Come on.
Even if I got COVID on my elbow, right, from doing this to you, how can I reach my eyes?
I like this. This is a premise for a joke. This is something about this is going to be funny at a comedy club.
So I'm scratching my eye.
When is your next pop up? Can we see you anywhere soon?
I'm gonna be in Jersey on Thursday with
in a club
Cypher Sound, Sean Patton, Jackie Fabulous, and Artie Fuqua.
Nice.
Oh, I love Artie.
Oh yeah,
where does he live?
He lives in Jersey City.
So is this going to be out before Thursday?
Yeah,
let's promote it.
Oh, is it on Thursday, you said?
Yeah, this Thursday.
When's this coming?
I could put it out Thursday morning. Yeah.
All right, let's promote it.
Yeah.
Yeah, promote it.
But
come on out.
But the thing is, the show is sold out, but you can still promote it.
Oh, well.
Fuck it. We'll put this out Saturday.
The show just got sold out today.
What about the next week?
The next week?
The week after that.
Oh, I might be
promote that.
I might be at the Stand.
Here?
The Stand in New York?
Yeah.
On 16th? Yeah.
You might be, or you
Yeah, I believe so. I don't have the date yet, but I've been doing a lot of shows at the Stand in the Eastville.
Is your website updated for where you're performing?
I'm late. That's the only thing.
What about your Instagram? You got one of those?
Yeah, Wil Sylvince. WILSYLVINCE.
All right.
You on Instagram?
Yeah, Joseph_Arthur. I'll follow you though.
Follow
me back.
I'll follow you. You're amazing, dude. You crazy.
Thanks, you
I'll
are
follow
too,
you too,
bro.
Ahad.
Ahud_Lazen.
When I first heard underscore, right? Someone was telling me that this wasn't. It was an email. Hey, my email is Joseph_Laywood. And I actually wrote out the word underscore.
That's funny.
I didn't know. I'm like, why they call it? Why they waste such a big word for such a little thing? And right, it's like it's like a lowercase dash, like a drop it like it's hot dash. That's a better name. Oh, it's drop it like it's hot dash.
That's amazing.
As opposed,
I'm never gonna not call it a drop it like it's hot dash again.
Because it's a dash, but on the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On the bottom.
Is that? Do you ever use that one?
It's just.
That's a good one.
But just a bunch of dumb observations.
Put it in your notes. Put it.
Or like the at is like a A with a Jerry curl, like a gay A, like a hey, where the party at? Where the party at? I just never how they came up with these, But underscores, I was very fascinated with the name. Like, who called it underscore?
Yeah.
Like
you lost.
Yeah. And
you didn't score enough.
Yes. Not only scores, you get that much, and it's not even a dash. It's gonna be on the bottom because that's how you're low. You're not high. You're not upper score.
There's
Yeah.
Is that upper score?
No.
Nah.
They stopped in the middle. They were
Yeah.
like, that's
We need
high
to
enough.
invent
And
one.
not even mid score, like the dash, mid score.
Yeah.
Like if they call a dash mid score, I'm like, oh, underscore, so it must be on the bottom.
Yeah.
No, it just came out
You could
underscore.
call it the basement dash.
All right, or drop it like it's hot dash.
I like it. Drop it like it's
Drop it
hot.
like
Yeah,
it's hot
that's the
dash.
winner. All right, y'all.
Oh, Wil Sylvince.
Yo, thanks
Thank
for
you
having
so
me.
much, man.
Thanks,
Really
man.
great to meet you.
Yeah, and you came blindly. You were like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Called you. You said, hey, let's do it.
What was I doing?
Exactly. We appreciate it.
I was
Thank you,
watching
Will.
Pornhub probably. You notice how like when you watch Netflix and after you watch a lot, there's a sign that says, "Hey, you still watching?"
Yeah.
You think Pornhub going back? Hey, you still jerking?
That would be such a call out to so many people.
You're not done yet?
It would be like, are you serious? Another video? For real.
Get a
For real.
girlfriend.
Can you please take a break? You're even exhausting me and I'm Pornhub.
Maybe your girlfriend wasn't born.
Yeah. All right, man.
Thank
All right.
you all.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks.
Take it easy. Hi, this is Joseph Arthur. Thanks for checking out Come to Where I'm From. Please support us on Patreon, patreon.com/come to where I'm from. We are an independent podcast, and any contributions you can make are greatly appreciated.